with Carpenter and McBurrows, the safeties. 4 wide receivers set on 2nd and 6. Randy Moss into Falcons territory, has another first down to the Atlanta 48, brought down by Chris Draft.
The key to this play is blocking. And if you're going to run this wide receiver screen, the Vikings do a great job. Chris Walsh, Dwayne Bates, 2 blocks right there, and that enables Moss to get the first down. Vikings typically have come out running the football, and what we've seen so far was a play-action pass, so a fake run, and then a pass, and then a run, and then that short pass to Moss. Look for more of the play-action passing from the Vikings right now.
From the Falcons 47. Off the delay, here's Bennett. Pickup of just 1 down to the 46. Again, Chris Draft in on the tackle.
Of course, coming into today, the Vikings have the #1 rushing offense in the National Football League. And the #1 rush average, Michael Bennett has been spectacular. He's ripped off 3 runs of over 60 yards in the last 4 games. Sprained the ankle last week. Big question mark, how well will he be able to run today, and will he be able to accelerate and hit top speed?
Culpepper back on 2nd and 9, and the pass is caught. Dwayne Bates all the way down to the Falcons' 16-yard line. The former Chicago Bear, pass play of 31 yards from Culpepper to Bates.
Like everyone else, the defensive focus is always in the passing game on Randy Moss. And if Dwayne Bates and Kelly Campbell, the rookie, can make big plays today, the Vikings are going to give the Falcons a very tough time.
So Dante Culpepper has hit on his first 3 pass attempts, spreading the ball around to Kleinsaucer, Moss, and Bates. From the 17, on first down, Bennett gets the push down to the 14, gain of 3.
Kenny, we've seen the Vikings throughout the season, and we talked about it a few moments ago. They have a very potent offense. They move the ball extremely well, up and down. But more importantly, they've struggled with turnovers. We saw them last week against New England get down into the red zone and turn the ball.
Stash. You can't take your eyes off it, can you?
If business were that easy, you wouldn't need us. Update your office technology with Canon Business Solutions.
To Chris Walsh. Out of bounds at the Atlanta 7. 12th catch of the year for Walsh.
Dante Culpepper runs hot, and he can run cold. Right now, he's hot. He's perfect right now, and the only way to cool him down is to get pressure on him. Falcons have not done that yet. Look for them to come with some blitzes real soon.
Walsh picked up the first down. Bates split out to the left. Moss to the right. First and goal from the 6. Wide receiver screen, and Moss unable to make the catch.
Of course, these 2 guys have been in the headlines here in Minnesota all week long. Late in the game last week, people thought, including myself, that Moss should have had the ball thrown his way more. The ball wasn't. Moss took the last play of the game off. He indirectly criticized Dante Culpepper. Said he knew why the Vikings were 3-8. Of course, Culpepper knows as well as anyone he has more turnovers than anybody in the league. The 2 of them had it out this week here at the facility, and the Vikings are telling us they've cleared the air.
Culpepper takes off, reaching across. No signal yet. Look to be down just shy of the goal line.
This is the danger of Dante Culpepper. If he doesn't have anything downfield, he's got those strong legs. He's the #3 running quarterback in the NFL. #1 is Michael Vick. #2, Donovan McNabb, who, of course, is now out for probably the season.
On 3rd and goal, Mo Williams. Still no signal. And Williams, who has scored 10 rushing touchdowns, was stopped shy of the goal line. So the question is, will Mike Tice decide to go for it on 4th and inches?
Well, if you're Mike Tice, you're 3 and 8, you go for it. You've got a big offensive line. The Falcons have an undersized defensive front. They play that 3-4.
Falcons shuffling defenders in and out. They can't get set and are forced to call timeout. Dante Culpepper and the Vikings will go for it on 4th down.
Mike Tice told us he wanted his team to come out and play loose. Culpepper's been playing loose. He's perfect. Vikings about to score.
Right now, fly Southwest Airlines for just $39 to $99 each way when you purchase by December 12th. So get packing.
You're now free to move about the country.
Has my boss Paul Beatty gone nuts?
Mommy's mad at me because I made a boom on a rug.
Robert De Niro, Billy Crystal. Hoo-ah! Analyze that. Rated R. Starts Friday at a theater near you.
Now through Sunday, Zales is having a store-wide sale with savings up to 60% off and more. Like this 2-carat diamond bracelet, now just $4.99. Quantities are limited at Zales, the diamond store.
Rebel TI. Get into it. Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 37.
4th down, less than a yard for the Vikings. Kenny, I think the Vikings want to roll out Dante Culpepper, give him the option to throw if he has a tight end or a receiver open, to run if he doesn't, and the Falcons are going to want to get their ends up and keep him contained.
Mo Williams, the lone back. And it's Culpepper on the keeper, and he is in for the touchdown.
Make everyone think you're going outside. It's an empty set right behind the best offensive lineman you've got. Matt Burke, the center. Dante Culpepper, big, strong runner, clearly over the goal line.
Culpepper's 6th rushing touchdown this season. Gary Anderson adds the extra point. An 11-play, 75-yard drive for Minnesota.
For over 8 years, DirecTV has brought America the best in television entertainment, and our customers have shown their appreciation in many unique ways. We simply figured it was an emotion they couldn't put into words. Until now. DirecTV, ranked #1 in customer satisfaction among satellite and cable subscribers by J.D. Power and Associates. Get a 2-room DirecTV system with installation for under $50.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by DirecTV. Movies, music, and exclusive sports from the leader in digital satellite entertainment. By Volkswagen. On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers. By Zales, the Diamond Store. And by Visa. It's everywhere NFL fans want to be.
Minnesota Vikings out to the early lead as they score on their opening drive. Dante Culpepper 4 of 5 in the air and scored on the 4th down quarterback sneak. Short kickoff by Hayden Epstein, taken at the 11 by Allen Rossum. Rossum up the middle out to the 29.
The last time the Vikings jumped out to a lead, Kenny, they were playing here against Green Bay. They won that game in a big upset.
I am Emmett Smith. I'm Emmett Smith.
I'm Emmett Smith.
I am Emmett
Smith. I am Emmett Smith. No, really, I am.
Worried that the you shopping online isn't really you? That's why there's Verified by Visa, a security service that helps protect Visa cards from unauthorized online use with a personal password. This service is only available on select Visa cards issued by participating financial institutions.
I am Emmett Smith.
Please.
To learn more and to check if your card is eligible for this service, go to visa.com/verified.
Print me.
Hey, look, my first bid. Hey, over here, print me.
Hey, pick me. I'm smiling.
Pick me. Please.
You pick the dog over your brother?
No, not the dog.
The HP All-in-One printer with proof sheet makes it easy to pick and print just the right shot.
Oh, that hurts.
Peyton, now what are we going to do? The game's on the line. All right, hook and ladder. Ready? Break!
There's midfield with seconds on the clock. If they complete a pass, I don't think they can get it out of bounds and stop the clock.
Whoa, look at this. What a play. Oh, baby, that's classic.
Now, this is a classic. It's all yours.
Nah, I got my own.
The size you want, the team you want. Get your own Gridiron Classic available at NFL Shop on NFL.com.
Catch the comedy that proves your coworkers are as crazy as you think.
Is that coffee? I didn't see coffee.
Oh! Do you see it now?
Andy Richter, season premiere at 9:30 tonight on Fox.
The Vikings have scored on their opening drive for only the second time in their last 19 games, but they did it here 2 weeks ago against the Green Bay Packers and went on to win that game 31-21. In fact, they scored on their first 2 drives against the Packers. So now Michael Vick and the Falcons offense starting from their own 28-yard line. Warwick Dunn in the backfield. 2 tight ends set. Here's Dunn. Gains a yard out to the 29. As we check in on the Bears and the Packers with JB.
Hey, Kenny and Tim, a little trickery on the part of Chicago. Fake field goal. Brad Maynard, the puncher, the holder that is, tosses a touchdown pass to Dustin Lyman. 12 yards. Guess what? It counts. Bears on top. 7-0. Back to Kenny and Tim.
So some trickery from the Chicago Bears. 3-8 record. Packers have lost 2 in a row here in Minnesota, and then the loss last week to Tampa Bay. Vick to the air for the first time, complete to the tight end, Reggie Kelly. Eric Kelly makes the stop, gain of just 3. Michael Vick, best quarterback rating on the road this season. As Tim mentioned earlier, he's thrown only 2 picks in 10 starts.
One thing we just saw JB in the game break from Chicago. When you're a 3-8 team like Chicago or like the Vikings, you can afford trick plays. You can afford to take dramatic chances. Vikings took a chance. 4th down and goal to go. They go for it. They get a touchdown. Michael Vick is going to have to be all of that quarterback rating today, all that 102 on the road for the Falcons to come back and beat the Vikings.
On 3rd down and 6, Vick can't find a lane to run. And he's taken down back at the 26-yard line. So a good defensive series by the Vikings.
Well, you have to give a tremendous amount of credit to the Vikings secondary on this play. Greg Beaker told us yesterday, he said, if Michael Vick can scramble around for 10 seconds, it's almost impossible to keep the coverage on your man. Vikings rush with 5 men. They close in on Michael Vick, and the secondary sticks with their coverage.
Falcons go 3 and out. Nick Davis, the rookie out of Wisconsin, awaiting Chris Moore's first punt. Fair catch at the 34-yard line. Penalty marker. 34-yard punt by Moore. And Hockley is our referee this afternoon. No penalty signaled against the Vikings.
I'm going to say nothing unfamiliar to the Minnesota Vikings. They lead the National Football League in penalties. And again, the Vikings are a potent team. They've got a strong offense. Their defense is pretty good against the run. But they've self-destructed
during the kick holding. Number 27, that penalty is declined. There was also a personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Number 16, that penalty is enforced from the end of the kick. Minnesota keeps the ball, first down.
Personal foul called against Kelly Campbell, the Vikings rookie wide receiver out of Georgia Tech.
Terrorists have planned a strike against Los Angeles.
What kind of strike?
Nuclear.
If you haven't seen 24...
Give me a name! If you lay a hand on me, you'll be taken off the case.
Find out how startling a television series can be.
Get out of the building!
This is the episode you must not miss.
You're gonna tell me everything I want to know, or I swear to God I will kill you.
An all-new 24 at 9/8 Central Fox Tuesday. It's coming. The next American Idol. This January on Fox.
Last week against the New England Patriots, Dante Culpepper said he felt best running the no-huddle offense. He looked great on the first drive for a touchdown without the no-huddle. We'll see if the Vikings get to it here on the second drive.
3 wide receivers set. Vikings start from their own 19 following the 15-yard penalty against Campbell. Culpepper throwing downfield. Campbell, the intended receiver, Jerron Bolden on the coverage.
Well, I said pressure was going to be the key for the Falcons defense to disrupt Dante Culpepper's rhythm. That's exactly what they did on that last play. They got pressure right up the middle from Ellis Johnson, the nose guard, forcing Culpepper to scramble, and he throws it away.
And the Vikings do, in fact, go to the no-huddle. 3 wide receivers. And a quick slant caught by Randy Moss. First down out to the Falcons, 39, a gain of 20. Keon Carpenter brought him down.
Ashley Ambrose is going to have to take away the inside from Randy Moss because the Falcons are going to dedicate a safety over the top. So that means Ambrose can get up. He's going to have to press Moss. He's going to have to stay inside, or Culpepper will throw that slant all day.
Culpepper in New England last Sunday, 13 for 13 in the no-huddle offense. 13 for his first 13. On first down, Michael Bennett bottled up.
Well, they're getting a little bit out of the no-huddle, but the last drive, which was the first drive of the game, gave the Vikings the fast start they wanted. Culpepper came out hot, throwing to 4 different receivers. He moved the Vikings down the field. When the receivers were covered, what did he do? He took off, ran it down, and then on 4th down, Mike Tice goes with a gutsy play. Quarterback sneak. Culpepper's strength brings him in.
Second and 11 following the loss of a yard by Bennett on the previous play. Line Saucer unable to make the catch. Setting up 3rd and 11.
Well, they go to Kleinsaucer, and on that last play, instead of pressing Randy Moss, Ashley Ambrose is left by himself, so they don't give him a safety over the top. And watch what Ambrose does. He comes way off, because one thing you don't want Randy Moss to do is to get up on top of you. That's where he makes his most stunning plays. Deep downfield.
Moss 72 receptions this season. 2 so far today, trailing only Terrell Owens in the NFC. 3 wide receiver set, 3rd down and 11 for Culpepper and the Vikings. Culpepper looks to take off, and he's taken down. Brady Smith, who had 3 sacks last week, along with Ellis Johnson. Falcons had 8 sacks in their win over Carolina last Sunday.
Falcons are number 2 in sacks per pass play in the league. They've got this new 3-4 defense. They're playing a 4-man front right now because it's a passing situation, but Brady Smith, Pat Kearney, Ed Jasper, they've all really thrived in Wade Phillips' new defense that he brought to the Falcons.
Kyle Richardson punting from his own 25. Taken at the 17 by Allen Rawson. Penalty flag on the field. Only a 1-yard return by Rawson. Tyrone Carter downfield with the tackle on special teams. And Ed Hockley will sort out the flag.
When you think about the Falcons defense, and they had a nice series right there to stop the no-huddle, people always talk about you've got to have players to make plays and players. I think coaches are incredibly important, just as important as the talent, and the Falcons defense exemplifies that. Essentially the same personnel this year as last year. Last year, the 30th ranked defense. This year, they're 12th.
Illegal hands to the face. Receiving team number 84 during the kick. The 10-yard penalty enforced from the end of the kick. Atlanta keeps the ball, 1st down.
Sean Jefferson, the guilty Falcon. And Wade Phillips has, in fact, done a tremendous job to win the Atlanta Falcons defense.
Uh-huh. You want me to put my hand in the what? And pull out the what?
Need a lot of minutes? Switch to Sprint, and for just $30 a month, get unlimited night and weekend minutes and 300 anytime minutes. And get a free PCS phone instantly at Sprint stores.
This can't be right.
Here.
PCS from Sprint. Clearly, the phone to give or get.
I need a car. No. A convertible. A red one. With under 15,000 miles.
Autotrader.com. With 2 million new or used cars, you can find the one you really want. And with millions of shoppers, you can sell the one you already have. It's the ultimate automotive classified site. Autotrader.com. Your car is waiting.
Welcome to the kingdom.
Are we there yet?
No.
Are we there yet?
No.
Simpsons Talking Watches, now only at Burger King. Just $2.39 each with the purchase of any value meal.
Who are your jets, man?
Burger.
Collect all 4. And our big double cheeseburger is just 99 cents. With 2 slices of melted cheese and 2 juicy flame-broiled patties. It's more than a quarter pound of beef. Hurry, offers end soon.
Now, youth players and coaches can learn football from the NFL with the Junior Player Development Interactive DVD Kit. To register to get your kit, go to NFLYouthFootball.com.
Vikings leading the Falcons 7-0 following the penalty on the punt return. Falcons will start from their own 9-yard line. They went 3 and out on their first series, gained only 4 yards. Bob Christian, Warren Dunn in the backfield. It's Dunn on the first down handoff. Gains just a yard. Vick Rogers made the tackle. Up front for the Falcons, Whitfield, Claridge, McClure, Forney, and Weiner, the men protecting Michael Vick. Jefferson, Fitter in the wideout. Dunn and Christian in the backfield. Reggie Kelly, the tight end.
Falcons have been using a lot of 2 tight ends and oftentimes 3 tight ends where they bring in Crumpler and also Brian Kozlowski. They've got 2 tight ends out there now.
Off the play fake. Vick takes off on 2nd and 9. And is close to the first down. Vick Rogers, the rookie out of Georgia Tech, made the tackle.
Well, this is the strength of Michael Vick, and this is also the weakness of Michael Vick. He picks up a first down here. Look at his great running ability, his elusiveness, but watch the hit he takes. This is the danger. He cannot continue to take the shots. Right now, he has 2 AC separations. His right shoulder and his left shoulder, he's got separations that he can't even do a push-up right now. He says normally during the season, he lifts all season long to stay strong. He cannot lift weights right now.
Yet he can still fire the ball 50 yards downfield. Here connects for a 9-yard pickup for the tight end Reggie Kelly. Vikings ranked 29th defensively. Chris Hovan, 2 sacks in New England last week. Beekert, longtime Raider, is the leading tackler for the Vikings. Kelly and Williams, the corners. Williams making his 3rd start as they move Corey Chavis, strong safety.
Chavis has done real well at the safety position. The Vikings think their secondary, and the Falcons think the Vikings secondary is a lot stronger with Chavis back there.
The pitch to Dunn on first down, and Warwick Dunn finally brought down after a gain of 7, setting up 2nd down and 3.
The thing that always surprises me about Warwick Dunn, it doesn't surprise me to see him make these spectacular cuts out in the field and make people miss. The thing that always surprises me whenever I see it is you get into a big scrum, you get into a big pile, and Warwick Dunn doesn't just go down easy. I mean, he keeps his legs going, and he runs like a big man when he gets into a pile, and he's not a big man.
And check out what he's done the last 7 games, averaging close to 100 total yards, and the Falcons haven't lost during that stretch.
Clearly, he has become much more comfortable with this Falcons offense.
2 tight ends. The pitch to Dunn on 2nd and 3. Looks to cut it back inside. And it's stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. Lance Johnstone, the first Viking.
You see what I'm saying, though? There were 5 Vikings on him, and he still didn't go down. I mean, that's what a big man does. That's what T.J. Duckett does. They try to get to the outside, and the Vikings defense does a good job of bringing him back to the inside. Kenny Mixon is the defensive end there. He turns this play back, and then the rest of the defense rallies. So you see Dunn never ends up hitting the turf on that play.
3rd down and 2. Falcons have to get to the 40 for a first down. And they do. As the pass is caught by Brian Finneran, the Falcons' leading receiver. And Atlanta moves the chains.
Well, Brian Finneran had his first 100-yard day last week against the Carolina Panthers since he was in Barcelona with the Dragons over in Spain. NFL Europe player who has really made a home for himself over here. And Todd Bauman, who's the Vikings' backup quarterback, was the guy who was throwing to Finneran.
Finneran with a team-high 40 receptions. Into Vikings territory, Warwick Dunn picks up 3 down to the Minnesota 48. Tackled by former Falcon Andre Crockett.
You always have your best days, and we've seen it all season long. I mean, all the years we've been together broadcasting these games, whenever you play against your former team, you bring a little bit more. You bring a little bit, something special. You clean out the cupboard and unload everything. There's Ronnie Bradford. He's also a former Atlanta Falcon.
Chuck Wiley, a third ex-Falcon on the Vikings defense, has checked in, replacing Chris Hovan. Second down and 7. Vick fires downfield off the fingertips of Sean Jefferson. 3rd and 7 coming up, but first, we check in once again with James Brown. JB?
Kenny and Tim, Panthers trying to snap an 8-game losing streak. A Tim Couch pick led to this play by the Panthers. Rodney Peete, 24-yard pass play to Wesley Walsh, 7-3 Panthers. And then Priest Holmes, 5-yard touchdown run. 10th straight game with a rushing touchdown. League leader with 21 overall, 7-0 KC. Kenny and Tim.
Thanks, JB. Hey, JB, I think buying your wife a golf shirt was a very nice gesture. It's the thought that counts. Don't listen to those other guys.
I agree. Vick looks to escape on 3rd and 7, and it's Vick Rogers. Fans in Atlanta know him well. 6th-round draft pick out of Georgia Tech. Rogers brings down Vick, his 2nd sack of the season.
The Vikings wanted to rush 5 men. They put Hovan, who's normally a tackle, on the outside. They wanted him to drive deep to keep Michael Vick back to the inside, and Nick Rogers was going to be the other end. So oftentimes today in passing situations, the Vikings are going to play essentially a 5-man front instead of their normal 4-man front in the nickel defense.
Nick Davis taken down back at the 11-yard line by Kevin McAdam, rookie out of Virginia Tech, getting downfield on special teams. Well, coming up next in the second part of our doubleheader, Kurt Warner and the Rams look to keep their playoff hopes alive as they take on Hugh Douglas, A.J. Feely, and the first-place Eagles. A full day of NFL action continues next on Fox.
Of course, everyone thought the Eagles were going to fold when Donovan McNabb went down, but then the Eagles came back. They crushed the San Francisco 49ers on Monday night. And St. Louis, I mean, they are in a must-win situation. I think they're going to have to win out their last 5 games to make it into the playoffs.
A rematch of the NFC Championship game. Vikings start from their own 11-yard line, leading 7-0. Michael Bennett. Bennett out to the 14-yard line for a gain of 3. 2nd and 7 upcoming.
Vikings were wondering if they were going to be able to run with Michael Bennett today, and they're going to have to run if the Falcons are going to play the defense they played on that last one, Kenny, because the Falcons basically take both safeties back here, and they play 2 so that the safeties can help on the wide receiver. That leaves only 7 men here in the box to defend the run. That means there's 1 Vikings blocker for every Falcons defender. When you have that advantage, you got to get more than 3 yards.
Culpepper rolling right on 2nd and 7. Out of bounds at the 16-yard line. Forced out by Keith Brooking. 22 seconds remaining in the quarter. Vikings facing a 3rd down and 5.
The one guy we've not seen so far today catching the ball is Kelly Campbell, the Vikings rookie who is from Atlanta, played at Georgia Tech, and the Vikings wanted to use him today, I think, to run a lot of crossing routes. Kind of a quick guy, not a big guy, but a lot of speed.
Caught 6 passes in New England last week, including his first NFL touchdown. Culpepper on 3rd and 5, and instead it's Moss on the crossing route, who makes his 3rd catch, picks up the first down as the Vikings move the chains. They scored on their opening drive for the 2nd time in 3 weeks and lead the Falcons after 15 minutes, 7-0.
There's an easier way to get the gear the pros wear this holiday season. Call 877-NFL-SHOP for the biggest selection of authentic NFL gear. For your free team catalog, call 877-NFL-SHOP or go to NFL Shop on NFL.com.
You're watching the NFL on Fox.
Introducing all new America Online 8.0. We listened to you and designed AOL 8.0 with hundreds of exciting new features.
Welcome.
New AOL email sort gets you to important mail faster. New AOL Call Alert lets you be online and never miss important phone calls. Choose a welcome screen tailored to your interests. There are hundreds of new features to easily connect you to the people and things you care about most. New America Online 8.0. Call 1-800-4ONLINE or get a free startup disc at these locations.
I can't stay here another minute.
Not what you need to hear. Then Super 8's where you need to stay. As clean as can be 1,900 times over. Clean, friendly Super 8. All the room you want. This place? For that kind of money? Not what you need to hear. Then stay here at Super 8. Clean, comfortable rooms because we inspect them more than any major economy chain. Clean, friendly Super 8. All the room you want.
For The Simpsons on reality TV?
Hey, get out! I'm in here!
Oh, all new at 8/7 Central, tonight on Fox.
Back in Minnesota, Vikings leading the Falcons 7-0 as we welcome you back. Vikings, Tim, have played much better at home this year, and today they score on their opening drive.
Well, they've played better at home, and they've got the crowd with them. And the other thing is, Kenny, we talked about it. This is a potent offense. This is a good team. I know they're 3-8, but the thing that's killed them has been turnovers. They've not turned it over so far, and if they continue to protect the football, they're going to give the Falcons a real run for their money today.
Penalty marker as Culpepper still on his feet out to the 39-yard line.
You know, that's probably going to be a holding penalty. And, again, Vikings lead the league in penalties. You talk about turnovers. Penalties are another thing, of a symptom of self-destructing. Otherwise, this is a much better team than 3-8.
32 turnovers, which leads the league. 9 penalties per game.
Holding offense. The 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
So yet another Minnesota Vikings penalty.
And meanwhile, the Falcons, who came into this game the hottest team in the league, they really haven't gotten anything going yet. You know, they haven't come up with the big play, and more importantly, they haven't gotten the running game going against this Minnesota Vikings defense. But that really shouldn't surprise people because the Vikings defense, while they've struggled against the pass, has been good against the run all season.
First down at 20 following the holding penalty. Culpepper to the fullback, Klein Saucer. Another penalty flag comes flying in from the defensive secondary as Klein Saucer forced out of bounds at the 29.
There was no foul for illegal contact on the play because the quarterback was out of the pocket at the time the pass was thrown at the time of the contact. Therefore, no foul. The play results in second down.
Kenny, we talked about the Vikings' lack of success in the first quarter during the season. And you see they've only averaged 2.7 points, 67 net yards, and then Moss hasn't gotten going regularly early in the season. 1 reception, 2 yards average. Of course, today, 7 points already, 110 yards, almost double, and Moss with 3 catches for 42 yards.
Dante Culpepper with the game's only touchdown on a 4th and inches quarterback sneak. Culpepper airing it out, looking for Moss.
Yeah, that's going to be against Ray Buchanan because he grabbed Randy Moss, I believe. The way Buchanan is clapping, it's going against Moss. Take a look at it. Ray Buchanan has Moss man-to-man. It's just him. He's got no help with a safety over the top, so he's got to run with him. Oh, yeah, it was. You saw Moss's left. Watch it right here. Watch Moss just sneak that left hand right there. So my eyes played tricks on me on that one, but not on the official.
Pass interference, offense number 84, 10-yard penalty, repeat second down.
The crowd doesn't like it, but clearly on the replay, Moss pushed off.
And we check in once again with James.
My wife, and it was a thank you. That's all. Back to Kenny and Tim.
That's all right, JB. Of course, they were giving JB a hard time. JB, who's nearly flawless as a person, they gave him a hard time about the gift that he bought for his wife. Tried to insinuate he was cheap.
Nearly flawless?
Nearly flawless.
Inside handoff to Bennett on 2nd and 19. And he gains just one. Patrick Kearney in on the stop. So penalties continue to kill the Vikings. 3 so far today in just over 1 quarter.
And 3 big ones. We had the holding penalty, which pushed the Vikings back, and then the Randy Moss pass interference penalty. And so now Dante Culpepper is in this 3rd and very long situation. Again, I think the Falcons want to bring some kind of a blitz on this play.
Vikings have to get to the 39-yard line for a first down. They do not, as the pass intended for Mo Williams incomplete, and the Vikings will punt it away.
Kenny, I said Dante Culpepper runs very hot, and then he can turn cold if you can get pressure on him. Now, the Vikings give him pretty good protection, but there's great coverage downfield. Culpepper started this game out 4 for 4. Since then, he's only completed 3 out of 7 passes.
More penalty flags.
Delay of game, defense. Man over the nose, up to the center. Move. Unnatural move. It's a 5-yard penalty. It's still 4th down.
The flinch rule, as we call it. Not allowed to get up there and flinch to try to cause the offense to jump offside.
Gives Richardson some more room. And the punt partially blocked. Richardson's punt partially blocked. And this will set up tremendous field position for the Falcons. Looks like Kevin McAdam got a piece of it. Only a 17-yard punt as McAdam got in and partially blocked Richardson's punt.
The Citizen Echo Drive. It never needs a battery because light recharges it. So, what will you do with your battery now that your watch doesn't need one?
I won again. You win. I win. Oh, no, my batteries are dying.
Presenting our longest-lasting Energizer Max ever. Energizer Max. Do you have the bunny inside?
Nice bump. I gotta get a cordless headset.
Funny how the holidays turn even the most serious business people into kids again. Consider Office Depot your toy store, because our people know exactly what business people want for the holidays, and we offer a wide variety of gifts at great prices. Office Depot. What you need to know.
Golf Saturday? Can't. Tomorrow weekend with the kids.
When you need a
Shook up ramen?
Yeah. Soup.
Freeze. A call to the library could help her out. Good thing T-Mobile lets her call whenever she wants. Go.
Says here, pour some sugar on me. I'm hot, sticky, sweet.
The most one-ever minutes, free long-distance enrollment. Only from T-Mobile.
Get more.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. We'll pick you up. By T-Mobile. Get more minutes, more features, more service. By Citizen Echo Drive, a revolutionary watch that never needs a battery. And by Heineken. It's all about the beer. Heineken.
Perhaps next time JB is here in Minnesota, he'll visit the Mall of America.
Well, he got $4,000 cash from the other guys in the studio, so he's got money to burn.
Great play for the Falcons. Penalty flag as Vick hits Finneran. Inside the 10, inside the 5. Out of bounds, just shy of the goal line. A 39-yard pass play.
Offside, defense number 79. The penalty is declined. The play results in a first down.
Well, Kenny, this play was set up by a partially blocked kick. Now, Chris Walsh gets his foot stepped on. He's supposed to be the blocker on McAdam. Right there, he gets tripped. So McAdam comes free and gets the partial block on this kick. You see it right there, a beautiful picture of it. Sets the Falcons up in Vikings territory, and then a beautiful pass to Brian Finneran puts them right down on the 1.
4 tight ends in the game, Tim, for the Falcons. Here's Christian. Touchdown. They scored on the same play in Pittsburgh in the tie. Christian scored a touchdown in the third quarter with 4 tight ends in blocking.
And when you're playing with confidence, the way the Falcons have in these last 7 weeks, this is what you do. You answer. You come up with a big play on special teams, then a big pass play, and then just pound it in with the run game.
Third touchdown of the season for Christian. Dave Felix adds the extra point. We are tied at 7. Christian's touchdown set up by the block punt by McAdam.
Oh, the weather outside is frightful, but the fire is so delightful. And since we've no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it show. Man, it doesn't show signs of stopping, and I've brought me some corn for popping. The lights are turned way down low. Let it snow, let it snow.
Got a buck? You're in luck. With something hot, something beefy, or something just plain irresistible taste and incredible value. Every day, only on McDonald's Dollar Menu.
Why do I rent from Enterprise? For more cargo room. More people room. Or more headroom. Enterprise. So easy it's like having a second car. For third.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Fox tonight. In the family legendary for pranks and brawls, 2 brothers will stick it to each other in an epic battle.
You're animals! Only animals would be easier, because then I could have you fixed.
An all-new Malcolm.
Then, catch the comedy that proves your coworkers are as strange as you think.
This is the wettest I've ever been. I've always wanted to hear someone say that, but not you.
Andy Richter premieres after a new Malcolm starting at 9/8 Central tonight.
This January, 20 women have been invited to a chateau in France to win the affection of one man who's wealthy beyond their wildest dreams. But things aren't always what they seem.
Oh, my God.
Joe Millionaire. Discover his secret this January on Fox.
39-yard reception by Brian Finneran. Set up Bob Christian's 1-yard touchdown run. As the Falcons have tied the game at 7. Feely's kickoff is taken at the 6 by Tyrone Carter. Carter hurdles out to the 32-yard line. As we check in with Jeff Grayson on the sidelines. Jeff.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. Vikings first-round draft pick Bryant McKinney is back in the game, but earlier he was vomiting. He had a nasty case of an upset stomach. He was listed as questionable, but obviously he's back in the game, back upstairs.
One thing they've done with Bryant McKinney is put him in a 2-point stance permanently. He was playing in a 3-point on run plays and 2-point on passing downs. Mike Tice said, you know, he's so slow out of his 3-point, we'll just put him in a 2 and let him block out of there even on the run. He's an enormous man and playing well considering this is only his 4th appearance in the NFL, in an NFL game.
Culpepper to Moss in Falcons territory. A gain of 19 yards.
And Kenny, right now, the Falcons are choosing to single Randy Moss with Ray Buchanan. And this is a challenge that Buchanan, I'm sure, welcomes. But this is going to be a battle that's going to go on all day, and you better believe the Vikings are going to test Ray Buchanan if he's going to try to stay man-to-man.
Randy Moss saying hello to Doug Johnson, the Falcons' backup quarterback on the sideline.
Johnson gave him 5. Doug Johnson probably didn't know what to do. He's a nice guy, polite. Somebody holds out 5, he's left 5.
Down to the 43-yard line. Tight end Byron Chamberlain brought down by Chris Strapp.
Now Culpepper heating up. Here's Randy Moss right there, and Doug Johnson just sitting there and say, hey, how you doing? Doug, oh, I'm good, Doug says. What are you going to say? You know, it's interesting. You know, you hear all these things about Randy Moss, and he's in the headlines, but time and again, teammates and people in the Vikings organization say, hey, if you just know Randy, you know, he's a good guy. I guess it's just if you don't know him.
Culpepper on 2nd and 4, complete to Moss, and Coach Mike Tice, as a penalty flag comes out. Mike Tice said he's practiced hard all year, and he's blocked hard all season.
Well, he certainly regressed last week in the last play of the New England game, and a couple of the team captains of the Vikings admonished Moss.
Offense number 84, pushed off at the break.
And they're getting it for a penalty. That's his second one. Second instance of Moss pushing off and coming up with a Vikings penalty. Tice has got to hate that. He feels like the officiating has gone against his team all season long. And in fact, Kenny, when they played the Packers here a couple of weeks ago, you see that was a clear push. Lance Johnstone hit Brett Favre. He was penalized twice for roughing the passer, and the league later said that that was an incorrect call. However, the 2 penalties against Moss today have been correct.
Forces the Vikings back to their own 48-yard line. 2nd down and 13. Jennings. No gain. Keith Brooking. And on a tackle for the Falcons.
As I was saying, Kenny, a couple of the Vikings captains took Randy Moss aside on Monday and admonished him and said, hey, you can't do this. And Mike Tice told us he was glad that his players did that. And he said it's better coming from players to single a guy out and say, hey, we won't accept it. Obviously, Randy Moss took it hard. He's playing a pretty good game so far today. 4 catches, 61 yards early in the second quarter.
And this pass picked off, intended for Moss. Ray Buchanan with his 2nd interception of the season, and he passes the Magic.
Ray Buchanan told us last night, he said, you know, we've got a lot of magic going on in this team. Part of the magic has been the Falcons secondary. They've come up with a lot of interceptions this season. He says whenever the magic shows, you got to pass it around to your teammates. That's what Buchanan did.
Whoever has the hot hand passes it along.
Obviously, the new Silverado is here. Silverado, the truck from Chevy.
The Braun Synchro is the world's first shaver with a 4-way moving head, so it catches more hair in fewer strokes for a closer shave. Only it moves so fast, you can't see it, but you can hear it. And to keep it feeling like new every day, its automatic self-cleaning system thoroughly cleans the shaver and alcohol, leaving nothing to come between the shaver and your face. Brawn, designed to make a difference.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Chevy Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road.
Well, we said the Vikings' undoing this season has been turnovers. Dante Culpepper's 17th interception. Falcons defense made it look like Moss was being singled by Buchanan, but Moss was bracketed, and that enabled Buchanan to get the jump and the interception.
Leading 33rd turnover committed by the Vikings. Vick lobbing one up, intended for Warwick Dunn.
Let's take a look. Moss is right here. He's going to run this pattern right here. Here's the bracket. 1, 2. So there's a guy on either side of Moss. So Buchanan knows he can make the play, and he's got a safety over the top. And then just passes that magic around.
Buchanan said he came up with the idea during training camp.
He's a flashy guy, isn't he? Came in last night in the meeting in corduroy suit and fresh hairdo and the whole deal.
He also convinced Dan Reeves to wear an earring if the Falcons win the division.
That's right.
Off the play fake. Vick takes off.
Unbelievable.
First down and more. Still on his feet. Inside the 20. Down to the 12-yard line.
That is what people pay money to see. You know that? That is why people are just dying to get into a Falcons game. Whether you're a Vikings fan or a Falcons fan, 40-yard scramble, look at him move. It speaks for itself, but Kenny, the Falcons have not only sold out the rest of their season, they're now taking deposits on next year's season tickets because everything is in such demand, and it's because of number 7 and the kind of plays that we just saw there. He is spectacular.
There wasn't a waiting list back when you played for the Falcons?
No, there wasn't, and now you got to give $100.
Ball bouncing as Vick looked to hand it off to T.J. Duckett, and the Vikings say they have it.
It looks like the Vikings did get it.
Vikings football.
The handoff, Kenny, actually got knocked by Bob Christian, so it was some bad mechanics, and Dan Reeves is hot. Watch, Bob Christian knocked the ball right out of Michael Vick's hands, so Duckett never gets a chance at it. And the Vikings turn this thing around.
Recovered by the former Falcon, Andre Crockett.
It looked like Michael Vick thought he was handing off to Bobby Christian.
So each team with a turnover here in the second quarter. Looking to set up the screen to Mo Williams as we check in with James Brown.
Kenny and Tim, no trickery involved here on this Chicago touchdown pass. Take a look, Jim Miller just drills it into the tight end, Dustin Lyman, his second touchdown of the day and of his 3-year career. 14-3 Bears. Back to Kenny and Tim.
All right, thanks, JB. Warwick Dunn heading off to the Falcons locker room.
Saying he has a sprained ankle, and the good news for the Falcons, if you can have good news in a situation like that, is T.J. Duckett is running for 4 yards of carry, same as Warwick Dunn. So they do have a backup runner.
Culpepper looking for Moss. Incomplete, out of bounds. Ashley Ambrose on the coverage.
Falcons starting to close the pocket on Culpepper, starting to pressure him, and that's what you have to do. If you allow him to stand back there, he's got that strong arm, and he likes to throw it deep downfield.
Vikings drove 75 yards on 11 plays on their opening drive, but since then 2 punts and an interception. Now a 3rd down and 10. Vikings only 1 for 5 today on 3rd down. They have to get to the 25 for a first. Culpepper wrapped up by Patrick Kearney, threw it away.
Great job by Kearney. You know, and Kenny, this is that 3-4 defense. You never know which of the 4 linebackers is going to come and they make it look like a blitz. There's Kearney right there. Both outside linebackers come, so Kearney is in a one-on-one matchup, and he's the guy who gets the heat on Culpepper.
Ray Buchanan is the injured Falcon. Vikings will punt with 9:04 remaining, second quarter.
You certainly don't want to lose Buchanan. You don't want to use Dunn. But the Falcons have good backups in Duckett and Jerron Bolden to replace Buchanan.
My son Brian and I are making sure everyone in Chicago is eating good.
Hello.
Hi. Hi.
Hi, how you doing?
Hey, say, you need some nice hot chunky soup to fill you up right.
Introducing Campbell's Chunky Herb Roasted Chicken with potatoes and garlic. Big chunks of savory roasted chicken and loads of veggies.
Are you a good player?
He's a great player. Do you want to see?
Duck, duck.
New Campbell's Chunky Roasted Favorites fill you up right.
Introducing Dockers, flat front mobile pen.
With a pizza this deep, what more could you ask for? How about a deep discount on a second pizza? Now you can get any other medium pizza for the unbelievable price of just $2.99 when you order the Chicago dish at Pizza Hut.
I'm Afghan-American, you know. I'm here at the embassy as a translator, but I've been away from this country for 22 years and I still remember the language. The most you can do is pray and hope that this country will finally develop. Being here makes me appreciate what I have in the States. Like my dad said, I'm like a bridge between two cultures.
It's a bridge to understand each other, not to hate each other, to love each other.
See performances by Justin Timberlake, Avril Lavigne, Puddle of Mud, Nelly, Creed, Faith Hill, plus Cher, Michael Jackson, and more. Live, Cedric the Entertainer hosts the 2002 Billboard Music Awards, Monday, December 9th on Fox.
Falcon trainers working on Ray Buchanan. Kyle Richardson punting from his own 5-yard line. Last one was blocked. This one end over end, and a fair catch by the NFC's leading punt returner, Alan Rawson, at the 43. So terrific field position once again for the Falcons.
It was interesting talking with Keith Brooking yesterday, one of the stars of the Falcons defense, and he said, you know, people have said, well, you get upset that the defense hasn't gotten as much credit. Everyone's talking about Michael Vick. And Brooking said, you know, he deserves the credit because, yeah, we're playing well on defense, but he's helping us play well with time of possession. Vick is the #2 rated quarterback in the NFL on third down, so he's kept the Falcons offense on the field, rested the Falcons defense, enabled them to be fresh to make big plays.
Vick throwing off his back foot out of bounds, couple of penalty flags. And along those lines, Tim, the Falcons lead the NFL in average time of possession. So they keep the defense rested.
And as a defender, that is such a luxury. You know, because you're on the sideline, you get to what? You get to rest, you get to regenerate your energy, and then you come back out, and that's how you make your biggest plays.
Talk about big plays. Vick had a 40-yard run just moments ago.
Number 65 of the offense was illegally downfield before the pass. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
And 40, the right guard. Vick's 40-yard run, 4 shy of his career long. He got a 44-yard touchdown run against Carolina. Well, loss of 5 yards on the penalty. Setting up 1st and 15. Falcons from their own 38. T.J. Duckett looks to cut to the outside. And gains just 1 up to the 39-yard line. Kenny Mixon brought him down. Duckett in due to the sprained ankle suffered by Warwick Dunn.
Well, all 3 Falcons runners, T.J. Duckett, Warwick Dunn, and of course Michael Vick, you got to consider him a runner. they all have over 400 yards. So the Falcons are the only team in the NFL with 3 guys over 400 yards right now. And that's what makes their rushing attack work. Of course, Michael Vick is a big factor there, and we saw that 140-yard run he had already today. Spectacular.
Duckett, the rookie out of Michigan State. Here's Vick on 2nd and 14. Brings it out to the 47-yard line. Gain of 8 on the play. Lance Johnstone made the tackle, setting up 3rd down and 6.
Well, one thing the Vikings wanted to do coming into this game was constrict the pocket. They wanted to take the throwing lanes away and then just push in over the top and force Mike Vick to come out on the inside and then hopefully have someone bring him down. That's what Lance Johnson did. George O'Leary, of course, the former Georgia Tech head coach, coaching the defensive line, working with those guys all week and talking to them about squeezing the pocket.
3rd down and 6, incomplete. Vick looking for Duckett.
Yeah, I think squeezing the pocket worked on that play because Michael Vick was forced to move inside the pocket. Watch it here. Watch how they work it. The ends, very patient. John Stone, Nick Rogers. And so Michael Vick comes up, and he has to throw kind of off balance there because of the squeeze. Not a tremendous pass rush. Didn't get a hit on him, but they're disrupting.
Bearcats back at the 11-yard line by Nick Davis. Midway through the 2nd quarter, Falcons and Vikings tied at 7.
This holiday season, nothing says family like a fresh home-cooked meal that only Mom could make.
Give Reese a slice from the fuzzy side, and I didn't see a thing.
Deal. 'Tis the season for Malcolm, all new at 9 tonight on Fox.
Warwick Dunn brought back out. And the report on Ray Buchanan, Tim, a lower abdominal sprain. His return is probable. Jerron Bolden in the game now, replacing Buchanan. Vikings start from their own 11-yard line. On 1st and 10, Bennett. And he's wrapped up, brought down by the reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week, Brady Smith.
And he gives Bryant McKinney a little welcome to the National Football League. McKinney, his job on that last play was to cut Brady Smith off. And here's why, McKinney may want to think about getting down into that 3-point stance. He's in the 2-point, and so it was easy for Brady Smith to get right up under McKinney and make that play in the backfield.
Falcons with the Defensive Player of the Week 3 of the last 4 weeks. As you saw, Smith, Brooking, and Kearney. Lost a 2 on the play, 2nd down and 12. Culpepper hit as he throws. And it will be 3rd down and 12 coming up for the Vikings.
Falcons with that 3-4. Here comes the pressure. This time Chris Draft comes. Theory comes from the outside. Sam Rogers comes. So the Falcons send 3 of their 4 linebackers on a blitz. And they disrupt Culpepper again.
Culpepper had the hot hand early, hitting on his first 4 pass attempts. But since then, he is just 5 of 14. Culpepper on 3rd and long, and it's Jerron Bolden coming up with the interception. Ray Buchanan's replacement, Bolden, with his 3rd pick of the season. The league-leading 18th interception thrown by Culpepper. I guess Ray passed the magic along to Jerron Bolden.
Jerron passed a little back. We talked about Bolden's capability. When we saw Ray Buchanan get hurt, he just gets over the top of Campbell, stays over the top, gets perfect position, and Kelly Campbell never looks back. I mean, he doesn't fight for this ball at all. Bolden stays over the top of him, and that's as much of a rookie mistake as it is a mistake on Dante Culpepper. Bolden, a much bigger, more physical player. Campbell outmuscled.
Vick has time, and then is taken down. Ball is loose. And it's recovered by Chris Hovan. Vick thought he was down. Vick thought he was down. And we'll see if Dan Reeves challenges. You can challenge if the runner was not ruled down by contact. You cannot challenge the reverse. But the Reeves can challenge if he thinks Vick was down.
Henri Crockett is the guy who comes in and makes that play. I don't think he was down. He may have thought he was down, but he's on top of Crockett. So he's not down until he's down on the turf. If you're down on another player, you're not really down.
And it looked like the ball started to come loose as he was on his way down. Reeves thinking about challenging. If the officials ruled a player down by contact, you cannot challenge. But if a player is not ruled down by contact, then you can challenge.
Atlanta's challenging the ruling on the field that the runner was not down by contact.
And there must be indisputable visual evidence, as Ed Hockley will take a look for him to reverse the call on the field, which was that Vick was not down.
Henri Crockett makes a really nice play on this. He comes out of his pass coverage, which is a dangerous thing. To come out of your pass coverage into the rush and try to bring down Michael Vick. See, Vick's not down yet. Right there. He's still not down. The ball is totally out, and he's still not. Now he's down.
I agree with you. The Falcons are not going to win this challenge.
No, not at all. There's the ball. He's losing it. Even if you say he has it, he's still not down. Now he's down.
So for the second time, immediately after a Culpepper interception, the Falcons give it right back. Vick has already lost 3 fumbles this season, thrown only 2 interceptions. So if Ed Hockley agrees with us, the Vikings will take over on the Falcons' 36-yard line.
The issue was whether any part of the runner other than his feet or hands before the ball came loose. In fact, only the feet were on the ground when the ball was fumbled. The knee had not yet touched down. Therefore, the ruling on the field stands. There was a fumble. Minnesota's ball, first down. Atlanta's charged with their second timeout.
Good explanation by Mr. Hockley. And there you see Michael Vick is not down. Right there. He's not down. He's on top of Henri Crockett, and the ball is clearly out. Again, Crockett pulling out of coverage. This is a big play. Talked about Crockett being a former Falcon, and Chris Hovan, who's always around the ball, comes up with the fumble. I don't know why he's doing push-ups. Maybe he's doing push-ups to penalize himself for not scooping it up and scoring a touchdown.
Well, you already told us Michael Vick can't do push-ups due to his shoulder injury. So Vick coughs it up. Second Falcons turnover. Here's Culpepper from the 36. Culpepper looking to do his best Michael Vick imitation. Slides after a gain of 3.
Well, one thing about Dante Culpepper, we talked about his ability to run the football, and he's a good runner. He's a strong runner. Really, I've always said, kind of reminds me of Terry Bradshaw when he was with the Steelers. You know, a big quarterback, as big as a lot of linemen, the way Terry was, and they get downfield and they run good speed, good strength, but not a Michael Vick type runner. Vick is just, you know, incredibly elusive, Barry Sanders-esque, if you will.
3 wide receivers for the Vikings on 2nd and 7.
If Culpepper would be Bradshaw.
Bradshaw-esque. Culpepper looking for Moss, batted away by Ashley Ambrose.
Well, Patrick Kearney plays left end, but what he does, he comes on a stunt here. He loops around, and the nose tackle, Ed Jasper, does a great job of using up 2 Vikings blockers. And then Ashley Ambrose working here on Randy Moss. Remember I said earlier he's got to take away the inside, and that's what he did on that. He's got help over the top, but he's got to take the inside away from Randy Moss.
Moss now lined up in the slot to the right. 3rd down and 7. Culpepper 0 for his last 7. Culpepper takes off, picks up the 1st down and more. Down to the Falcons' 13-yard line. A gain of 20 for Dante Culpepper.
We talked about Culpepper being a threat as a runner, and that was a classic case of it. The pocket opened up. He had pressure, but the Falcons' defensive front gave him a huge lane. And if you give Culpepper a huge lane down the center of the field, there he goes.
The quarterbacks are the leading rushers on both sides. Bennett down to the 6-yard line. A gain of 7 brought down by Matt Stewart.
That was the most explosive I've seen Michael Bennett hit the line of scrimmage so far today. So maybe a sign that he is overcoming a little tentativeness due to that sprained ankle. I think for the Vikings to win, they're going to need more out of 1.6, more out of Bennett than a 1.6 average. Normally 5.5.
2nd down and 3. Culpepper to Moss. Close to the 1st down. Jerron Bolden made the tackle. Randy Moss's 5th catch of the game.
Real nice play by Jerron Bolden. Really nice, because Randy Moss is an exceptional athlete. So Bolden's giving him some space. He reacts to this play, zeroes in on his hips, and makes the tackle.
And Moss did not pick up the 1st down, so it's a 3rd and 1 from the 3.5. Mo Williams has the 1st down to the 2.
Mo Williams, who's also playing hurt, you can see him hobbling a little bit. He's got a bad heel. But when he gets down near the goal line, see that taped up heel, he's got a pad on it.
And you always tell me you have to eat hurt. I guess you have to play hurt as well.
You got to eat hurt, you got to play hurt. Even if you're hurt, you got to eat big.
As you did last night.
Mo, I try to do that every night. Mo playing big with that hurt ankle, hurt heel.
Culpepper, end zone, touchdown, Hunter Goodwin. His 2nd career touchdown. The 7th-year tight end out of Texas A&M. And the Vikings capitalize following the Michael Vick fumble.
Well, Kenny, this is a total coverage breakdown by the Falcons. Hunter Goodwin, the tight end here, he doesn't even fake the block. He just releases into the end zone, and no one even looks at it. Watch this here. No one even looks. I mean, I know John Dale Carty is up there covering Klein Saucer. A total breakdown on the Falcons defense.
1 previous touchdown in 7 seasons. Would you look at Goodwin?
You can help bring other military families together this holiday season by joining the NFL and VFW in donating to Operation Uplink. Log on to NFL.com VFW to find out how you can provide a prepaid calling card to a member of the military who would like to call home. This year, give to someone who gives you the gift of freedom every day.
If it wasn't for football on Thanksgiving, I'd be stuck at the kids' table all day.
It's on. It's on. Yeah.
Vikings scored on their 1st drive. Falcons tied it following a blocked punt. And now the Vikings go back on top following a Michael Vick turnover.
Hunter Goodwin, a blocking tight end, as you said. Only 1 other touchdown besides that in 7 years, and Falcons did not bother to cover it.
For Dante Culpepper, his 13th passing touchdown. Culpepper scored the other Vikings touchdown on the 1-yard sneak. And he ran for 23 yards during that drive.
Well, I think you have to admire the way Dante Culpepper has maintained his composure today, despite the fact that he's thrown 2 interceptions. And you certainly have to appreciate, if you're a Vikings fan, the Vikings defense, which has taken those interceptions and turned them into Falcons turnovers immediately following the Vikings turnovers.
Alan Rossum on the return. And the Vikings have also held the Falcons, who have scored 30 or more points 6 times this year, just 7 so far. Well, great news, America. Andy's back. Andy Richter returns to Fox tonight with the season premiere of Andy Richter Controls the Universe, the show that TV Guide calls the best mid-season comedy. That's tonight at 9:30, 8:30 Central, following an all-new Malcolm right here on Fox.
He's the guy that used to be on Conan O'Brien.
Right.
He was the straight man for Conan.
Well, first, you get to watch Andy Reid on Fox as he leads his Eagles against the Rams. So a little bit of Andy Reid and then some Andy Richter.
They both looking like they could use a little swim fat.
I guess they eat hurt.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
C.J. Duckett after the 31-yard line. Warwick Dunn suffered the sprained ankle earlier this half. Duckett gained 8 as we work our way down to the 2-minute warning here in Minneapolis. Falcons do not get the playoff. They trail the Vikings by the score of 14-7. Vikings last home game, they beat Green Bay. They lead Atlanta by a touch.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Gateway, a better way.
Way cool, way. Way to my heart. Talk this way. Think of another way. Way to go. One way, 2 ways, ways to get it done. My way. For the highway. Do you know the way? See the world in a beautiful way and see the Milky Way. By the way, I can do all this with Gateway, a better way.
That's what I'm talking about! Woo!
Just tasted new Sam Adams Light, the first great tasting light beer. Shockingly great taste.
Yeah!
The Citizen Echo Drive. It never needs a battery because light recharges it. So, what will you do with your battery now that your watch doesn't need one?
Enjoy. Thanks.
A-Cube technology from Adidas, exclusively at Champ Sports.
Coming up on the Visa Halftime Report, JB, Terry, Howie, and Jimmy will have scores and highlights from around the league, and the Fox Sports Ticker will keep you updated with up-to-the-second stats. That's coming up on the Visa Halftime Report.
And how did you like Jimmy Johnson's interview with Jerry Jones on the pregame show today?
After watching that, you wonder if Jimmy's going to be back coaching the Cowboys next year.
Makes you think. But, it also kind of points out how fragile a winning organization could be. And once you disrupt that chemistry for the Cowboys, it melted after Jimmy Johnson left.
Duckett, no gain on 2nd and 2. Rogers, Bickert, Crockett, all there. So a 3rd and 2 coming up for the Falcons. Timeout called by the Vikings. They hope to get the ball back, so they stop the clock.
Introducing 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Covering the entire world of extreme sports. Nightly.
Warner and the Rev. Sunday doubleheader continues later today.
Vikings leading the Falcons 14-7. Third down and 3.
Falcons have been third in the NFL in third down situations this year. They've been particularly good in third and short.
And the Falcons pick up the first down. Vick hitting Brian Finneran for a gain of 6.
So Finneran is a guy who dropped some passes earlier this season. He struggled a little bit. And interesting talking to Michael Vick, and he said every time Finneran dropped a pass, he'd come back to the huddle and I'd say, I'm throwing to you on the next play because I believe in you. Vick helped rehabilitate Finneran's confidence.
Vick to the tight end, Algie Crumpler on first down out to the 45-yard line. Crumpler from a family of tight ends. His father, an NFL tight end. His brother played here in Minnesota, Carl Lester, in 1999.
And he's a guy who doesn't need his confidence rehabilitated, right? He went to Dan Reeves in the first New Orleans game and told me he had to get him the ball more.
Here's Crumpler again, down the sidelines, out of bounds at the 39. He's the only Falcons team who's caught a pass in every game this season, and he picks up 16 on that play.
Oh, he's very talented. I mean, he may be pound for pound. He probably is pound for pound the most talented receiver the Falcons have. I know he's a big man. He's a tight end, but he's very elusive. Very difficult for linebackers to cover him man-to-man. He's got exceptional hands.
Second season out of North Carolina. Caught the last 2 passes from Vick. Falcons have 1 timeout. 46 seconds remaining. First half. 3 wide receivers. Vick looking for Finneran. And Finneran,
what a catch,
makes the catch for the touchdown. What a catch by Finneran. 39 yards for the score. His 4th touchdown this season.
Well, what a catch, but what a throw. Man, oh man. And you know why it took the official a little bit to call it was he had to see if Finneran was able to hang on. He's got Brian Williams. Vick places the ball perfectly, and see, the officials got to see, does Finneran still have control of that football? People have been asking for more deep passes by the Falcons. They just got a beautiful one right there. Perfectly thrown ball by Michael Vick. Excellent catch by Finneran.
And the extra point from Feely. Michael Vick on that drive, 4 of 4, 70 yards and a touchdown to Finneran.
My name is David. I play offense. I play center. I play guard. I play defense. And sometimes I play tackle. Sometimes I play defense. Because I play right guard. I play linebacker. I play running back. I play fullback. I play right guard. Tackle. My name's Casey, and I play football.
Tim, you mentioned Brian Finneran had his first 100-yard game since Barcelona last week. He's only 4 yards shy of doing it again.
Well, we've talked from the beginning about the level of confidence that the Atlanta Falcons have been playing with over the last 7 weeks. And that was a play of confidence. I mean, Finneran had some pretty good coverage on him by Brian Williams. Vick lays it up there perfectly, believing that Finneran is going to make the catch, and he does. It's just a beautiful effort. And Brian Williams really is almost, not to be faulted. He's right there on the coverage. He even goes for the strip after Finneran has the ball in his hands. Finneran, 2 sure hands.
Touchdown pass, Tim, set up by the 2 short passes to the tight end, Crumpler. And then Vick went long to Finneran. Tyrone Carter on the return. Dragged down at the 32-yard line by former Viking Artie Olbert. So the Vikings go back to work. They have 2 timeouts and 32 seconds in the second quarter, now tied at 14.
Again, Kenny, the Vikings with a potent enough offense to, even with just 32 seconds left, to try to go for a couple long passes, try to let Randy Moss make one of his acrobatic catches near the sideline and get some points. even if it's a field goal.
Hand off, Bennett. Heading for the sideline, stopping the clock. Gain of 6 out to the 38. Took only 5 seconds.
And some people might complain about a handoff to Michael Bennett, but Bennett has been so explosive that oftentimes the ball in Michael Bennett's hands can be as good as a big pass play. Because if he gets to the second or third level of the defense, he's tough. He's just so fast. And defenders are geared towards slower runners, so they take 4 angles on Michael Bennett.
He has runs of 85, 78, and 62 yards in the last 4 weeks. Culpepper over the top to Bennett. He's working, brings him down. Bennett picks up the first down, and Vikings call timeout with 16 seconds. They have 1 timeout remaining. Again, coming up at the half, JB, Terry, Howie, and Jimmy. These are halftime reports, scores, and highlights. And the Fox Sports ticker will keep you updated up to the second stats. That's coming up on the Visa halftime report. 3 seconds, Tim, have been added, so now 19 seconds remaining.
And I talked, Kenny, about Michael Bennett and how dangerous it is if he gets to the second or third level, but you know, Keith Brooking is such a good linebacker. Watch him here. Look at this open field tackle against a guy who has tremendous speed and elusiveness. Brooking just zeroes right in on him. He's had a fantastic season.
Went to his first Pro Bowl last year. 19 seconds. Vikings with 1 timeout. Culpepper looking for Kelly Campbell downfield. It's intercepted by Keon Carpenter. Carpenter with his 4th interception of the season. It's the 3rd pick thrown by Culpepper, who was looking for Kelly Campbell.
This is the second time we've seen Dante Culpepper put the ball up in Kelly Campbell's vicinity. And I think that if you're going to make that kind of risky throw, you want to throw it in the direction of Randy Moss, who's 6'4", who has that incredible leaping ability. You know, if you're just going to put it up and say, all right, I'm just going to let my receiver try to make a huge play, you know, Kelly Campbell is not the guy. He's inexperienced, and he's not very big.
Picked off by Keon Carpenter, who scored the first touchdown of the game for the Falcons last week when he intercepted Rodney Peete of the Carolina Panthers. 4 seconds remaining. And Vick, who can throw the ball about 80 yards if he gets the opportunity. Again, throwing off his back foot. And it's deflected by Trevor Gaylor. Incomplete. As the first half comes to an end, I thought he was going to throw it out of the stadium like he does in that commercial.
That looked like a punt, did it? He threw it so high and so far. Well, we saw an amazing run by Michael Vick on his 40-yard scramble today. That was an amazing throw.
And then 2 39-yard pass plays to Brian Finneran, the last for the game-tying score. Back in Minnesota at the half, Vikings and Falcons are tied at 14. Kenny Albert with Tim Green. 2 weeks ago, Vikings at home. Fast start against Green Bay. Fast start again today.
Yeah, and Dante Culpepper was the key part of that fast start. He came out today. He completed his first 4 passes in a row, sent it to 4 different receivers, and then ran it almost down to the 1, then punched it in himself. The thing that's undone the Vikings has been turnovers, but after each Culpepper interception, Michael Vick came up with 2 turnovers of his own. 2 fumbles, so the Vikings were able to take advantage of those. However, the Falcons stayed in the game because of this guy here, and also because of Michael Vick. Michael Vick and Finneran hooking up on a couple of long pass plays, and that's why the Falcons have got 14 points and a tie ball game right now.
Falcons head coach Dan Reeves is standing by with our Jeff Grayson. Jeff?
Thanks, Kenny. Coach, they score first, but you get that one just before the break. What did you tell your guys at halftime?
Well, we made too many mistakes the first half. We turned the ball over in some key situations. You know, key to the second half. We got to not make the turnovers and hope they, continue to get them defensively.
All right, Coach. Good luck in the second half. Back upstairs, Kenny.
All right, thanks very much, Jeff. The Vikings, who lead the league in turnovers, now at 35, but they were able to force 2 Michael Vick fumbles.
Right, and that's why they're still in this game. The interesting thing that we've seen, neither team able to run the ball successfully. Coming into today, Vikings, #1 running team in the National Football League. Falcons defense, they've really contained Michael Bennett, who has that sprained ankle. And then the same thing on the other side of the ball. So far today, the best and biggest runs have come from Dante Culpepper and Michael Vick. Vick, of course, with that 140-yard scramble, which was absolutely breathtaking, however, nullified by a fumble on the next play.
And then Culpepper had a 20-yard run. The quarterbacks are the leading rushers. Vick with 57 yards on the ground, and Culpepper with 31 yards rushing. Michael Bennett only 21 on 10 carries. And Warwick Dunn left midway through the second quarter with a sprained ankle. Hayden Epstein gets things started in the second half. Taken out to 5 by Allen Rossum. Rossum across the 25 to the 27. So the Falcons will go to work first on offense. Michael Vick, 8 of 13 in the first half, and sent both teams with 192 total yards.
Yeah, the same total offense, and then both teams with multiple turnovers. You can almost discount the Vikings' last turnover. It was a desperate throw up by Dante Culpepper, intended for Kelly Campbell, the rookie.
Falcons with 3 first-half interceptions. Vick, a pair of turnovers. Falcons start from their own 27-yard line. On first down, the handoff. T.J. Duckett out across the 30. Greg Beekert forcing him back after a gain of 4.
Well, Falcons start out running, Kenny. They want to establish the run game, but again, the thing that's kept them in this ball game are these 2 big pass plays, both of them from Michael Vick to Brian Finner. And of course, that set up the Bob Christian touchdown, and then this one here with only a minute left to go in the first half. A spectacular throw by Michael Vick and an equally spectacular catch by Finner.
Second down and 6. Vick airing it out, looking for Finneran again. Brian Williams on the coverage, and Finneran had to turn himself into a defensive back to keep the ball away from Williams.
That one was a little dangerous, and Williams had such good coverage on this. And you know, he's thinking deja vu. He got beat deep for the touchdown. This time he stays over the top. Finneran tries to come back underneath. You see the great leaping ability of Brian Finneran. That time he turned himself into a defender.
Yep. 6'5", a big target for Vick. Third down and 6. Falcons have to get to the 37 for a first down. Vick in trouble. He escapes. And then lobs one downfield looking for Finneran. Corey Chavis on the coverage, and the Falcons force the punt.
Well, this is really good pressure and pursuit by the Vikings defensive front. You see there, it's a 4-man rush. Nixon forces Michael Vick out of the pocket, and there's Hovan again, and he forces Michael Vick to throw this thing on the run. And one thing you've seen a lot of is the Vikings defensive front forcing Michael Vick to scramble not to his left, but to his right, where his passes are not going to be as accurate because he's a left-handed passer.
Throws with his left hand, does everything else with his right. Fair catch, Nick Davis, 30-yard line. Vikings scored on their first drive in the first half. Can they do it here in the second?
Life is measured not so much by what you do as by what you do for others. For almost 2 decades, the people of Southwest Airlines have helped make the Ronald McDonald House a home away from home for seriously ill children and their families. Here's to the special spirit that brings us all together, the spirit of hope.
Nice ball. I gotta get a cordless headset.
Funny how the holidays turn even the most serious business people into kids again. Consider Office Depot your toy store, because our people know exactly what business people want for the holidays, and we offer a wide variety of gifts at great prices. Office Depot. What you need to know.
Golf Saturday? Can't. Tomorrow weekend with the kids.
Dublin, Ohio, a town divided between Wendy's Bacon Swiss Cheeseburger and Wendy's Chicken Bacon Swiss.
People, there's common ground here. Bert and Cindy, don't you both love Swiss? Yes. Of course you do. And who here doesn't enjoy hickory smoked bacon? Some like it on a whole breast filet, and some on a cheeseburger. But are we going to let that tear us apart?
Choose Wendy's Bacon Swiss Cheeseburger or Chicken Bacon Swiss. It's better here.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited. Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Office Depot. What you need, what you need to know.
Vikings go on offense for the first time here in the third quarter in a 14-14 game, starting from their own 30-yard line with 3 wide receivers. Bennett, the lone back, and off to Michael Bennett, and he gains 4 out to the 34-yard line. Sam Rogers made the tackle.
As we said just a moment ago, Kenny, the Falcons defense has done a really good job of limiting Michael Bennett. And it was interesting talking with Keith Brooking, because if you look at the Falcons, their defense is ranked number 26, which is not good against the run. But he said, you know, if you break it down, we've been weakest against plays like reverses and quarterback scrambles.
Bennett up the middle, his biggest run of the day. Down to the Falcons, 44, gain of 22 yards.
Well, this is neither a scramble nor a reverse. This is just right at you. The Vikings doing an excellent job of blocking up front. They give Michael Bennett a hole. He's playing with a lot of confidence later in this season. He told us last week that his rookie year, he really was running scared. This year, he's reading the holes better. There was a nice hole there for him to read.
Culpepper looking to throw on first down. Can't find anyone. And he was in the grass. Before he got rid of the football to Bennett, he was in the grasp of John Theory. A loss of 10 yards on the Falcons sack.
Well, Dante Culpepper had to hold the ball quite a while because Jerron Bolden, Falcons cornerback replacing Ray Buchanan, knocks Randy Moss right off his feet. Now, that's a legal hit. You can hit the receiver frontally in the first 5 yards. So Bolden doing a nice job of pressing Randy Moss and taking away Culpepper's primary receiver.
Bolden replacing the injured Ray Buchanan. Here's Bennett on 2nd and 20. Theory makes the tackle. Buchanan out with the lower abdominal strain.
And I think Bolden's going to want to continue to press Moss because Moss has been a viable part of the Vikings offense in the first half. In fact, he's got 5 catches for 63 yards. And it would have been more, but for 2 costly penalties. There's a pass shove right there on Ray Buchanan, and then he shoves Buchanan again there. And so both of those plays set the Vikings offense back.
Now a 3rd down and 18 for the Vikings. They have to get to the Falcons 34, and down goes Culpepper. It's Theory again.
No, I think it was actually Brady Smith, Kenny, who got Culpepper low down on the legs. Here's Smith. He's working on Bryant McKinney. No, it's not McKinney. Lindsey, and he gets right on Culpepper's leg.
Yep, and then Theory finished them off.
Theory's finished them off, but I think that sack is going to go to Brady Smith. It was Lewis Kelly who he went right past. It looked like Kelly didn't know the snap count.
Punt rolls into the end zone for a touchback. So a good defensive series, 2 sacks for the Falcons.
Terrorists have planned a strike against Los Angeles.
What kind of strike?
Nuclear.
If you haven't seen 24...
Give me a name!
If you lay a hand on me, you'll be taken off the case.
Find out how startling that television series can be.
Get out of the building!
This is the episode you must not miss.
You're gonna tell me everything I want to know, or I swear to God I will kill you.
An all-new 24 at 9, 8 Central Fox Tuesday.
Back at a sold-out Metrodome in Minneapolis. Minnesota Vikings, Atlanta Falcons tied at 14. Kenny Albert with Tim Green, Jeff Grayson on the sidelines. Falcons go back to work after the terrific series by their defense. They sacked Dante Culpepper twice. Two tight ends. Falcons start from their own 20. The handoff to Duckett. T.J. Duckett out to the 38-yard line. A gain of 18 before he was finally brought down by Corey Chavis.
Kenny, the Vikings defense is in a 3-4. Now, we know from Michael Vick that a 3-4 kind of bothered him when the Falcons played Baltimore. You see 4 linebackers, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Only 3 linemen down, and that is a defense that the Vikings don't play a lot of. And maybe, in part, made them susceptible to this run by T.J. Duckett.
From the 38, the toss to Duckett. Looks to turn the corner and is wrapped up by Lance Johnstone. As we check in with James Brown.
Kenny and Tim, Brett Favre hooks up here with Bubba Franks on a 60-yard strike to put them close now, 14-13, Bears lead. The Bears got on the ensuing play, thought they had scored a touchdown, challenged, lost the challenge, had it at the 1, fumbled, and Green Bay recovered. Boy, we're back to Kenny and Tim.
All right, JB, big day for the tight ends. Dustin Lyman with 2 touchdowns for the Bears, and now Bubba Franks doing the Lambeau leap after his score. Packers looking to win for the first time in 3 weeks. Play clock winding down. And Vick did not call timeout. So the Falcons will be penalized.
Fire number 63, Atlanta called timeout.
Oh, Roberto Garza.
Timeout Atlanta. That's their first.
The right guard, Roberto Garza, very alertly calling the timeout.
Right, and the Vikings, again, showing a 3-man front. They're taking Lance Johnstone. He's up in a 2-point stance. Nick Rogers is playing on the other end as outside linebacker, and then there's 3 Vikings defensive linemen right down in the center. So I think Falcons trying to figure out their blocking assignments on what is clearly a passing down. And they run out of time.
So following the timeout, Falcons will set up at their own 38-yard line, 2nd and 10.
And I think this is the confusion. See, they've got 3 defensive linemen here. You got Johnstone here and Nick Rogers there. So kind of a confusing formation. Again, kind of a 3-4 look from the Vikings that they've not shown this season. Now Lance Johnstone's back down in a 4-point stance.
Play action on 2nd and 10. Vick, incomplete. Center in the target and a penalty marker. It's against the Falcons.
Holding offense number 74. 10-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Todd Weiner, the right tackle.
Well, Weiner's working on Kenny Mixon. The Vikings come with a pressure package here. Watch, here comes the blitz. They run a stun up the middle. Here's Mixon right here. He gets around the edge on Weiner. And Weiner clearly had a hold of his jersey.
Weiner, the former Seahawk, signed to a big deal during the offseason.
Kenny Mixon has played well this season for the Minnesota Vikings.
Nixon came over from Miami. 2nd and 20. Big pass incomplete. The intended receiver, Sean Jefferson. Eric Kelly on the coverage. So a 3rd and 20. And this is where Vick thrives. In these situations, Dan Reeves told us he thrives when times are tough. And in that overtime tie with Pittsburgh, the Falcons had 3 3rd down and 20-plus situations, and Vick was successful on all 3.
That's the magic, and we've already seen one 40-yard scramble today, and we've seen 2 39-yard passes from Vick to Finneran.
Vick over his last 4 in the air. Dumps this one off, looking to set up the screen, and 3 penalty flags come flying.
That was a poorly executed screen
Illegal
pass by the
touching of the
Falcons.
pass by an ineligible member of the offense, number 65. The penalty is declined. Brings up 4th down.
Kenny Mixon again. Vikings only come with 3. McClure is supposed to let Mixon go, but he's got to stifle him first. He's got to shut him down. And Michael Vick has to throw this ball before he's ready to throw it, before the screen pass can develop. So Mixon with another excellent pass rush.
Chris Moore punting from his own 18. Good hang time. And a fair catch at the 27-yard line by Nick Davis. A 45-yard kick by Moore.
Come on. Who's this clown?
ATV Off-Road Fury 2, now played online. Rated E for everyone.
I'll have your steak and cheese with some of that Southwest sauce.
2 classic BMTs and put sweet onion sauce on hers. This is so sweet.
Can I please have a roast beef with Dijon horseradish?
Subway Club with hot peppers, because we like it hot.
At Subway, every sandwich is fresh made just the way you want, with your choice of delicious meats, toppings, sauces, all on fresh baked breads. It can be complicated, just give me what they're having. Or simple. It's up to you.
Subway, eat fresh! Pete, man, what are we going to do? The game's on the line. All right, hook and lateral. Ready? Break!
There's midfield with seconds on the clock. If they complete a pass, I don't think they can get out of bounds and stop the clock.
Whoa, look at this! What a play! Oh, baby, that's classic!
Now this is a classic. It's all yours.
Nah, I got my own.
The size you want, the team you want. Get your own Gridiron Classic available at NFL Shop on NFL.com.
A student acts out. He's an altar boy. To hide a troubling secret.
There's nothing that you can tell me that'll shock you.
You'd be surprised, Mr. Hanson.
And a principal wrongly accused of attacking a parent fights to keep his freedom.
You're prepared to go to trial?
I'm innocent, Your Honor.
An all-new Boston Public at 8/7 Central Fox Monday.
Vikings quarterback Dante Culpepper started this game completing 4 of his first 4 passes. Since then, he's only completed 8 of 20, and a lot of the reason has been the pass rush by the Falcons' defensive front.
At one point, went 7 in a row without a completion. Bennett followed up Matt Stewart. First Falcon in on the stop.
And Kenny, the way to disrupt Dante Culpepper is to take away his time, put him under pressure, and that's what the Falcons' front line has done. You see it there, sometimes on blitzes, sometimes on 4-man rush. There's another sack for Brady Smith, and you see the disruption. 3 sacks, 4 hits, 17 hurries, and that has led in part to the 3 interceptions thrown today by Dante Culpepper.
Brady Smith, John Theory with sacks. Ellis Johnson and Ed Gasper shared a sack. 2nd down and 9. On the end around, this is Nick Davis, the rookie out of Wisconsin. Out of bounds at the 38-yard line. He picks up a Vikings first down.
Now, those are the kinds of plays that Keith Brooking was telling us have hurt the Falcons defense. Especially, he said, in the Pittsburgh game. The reverses and the quarterback scrambles, and he attributed it to the aggressiveness of the Falcons front. Now, we've talked about their defensive line not being an overly big defensive line, but being quick, and then having 4 linebackers, everyone runs to the ball. Sometimes you overcommit on the reverse.
Empty backfield, pass complete to Bennett, and he's chased down immediately by John Theory.
Yeah, really, really well played by John Theory. Then the other guy that came into the picture there to help out was Patrick Kearney. You talk about running to the ball. Watch Kearney. Here he is. He's rushing the passer. He sees this pass. The guy's down on his legs, and there he goes. Theory with the tackle, but Kearney running for an angle downfield.
Kearney, the former lacrosse star, who was a walk-on at the University of Virginia.
He empties his tank every time he plays.
Yep. Inside handoff for the fullback, Jim Saucer. Out to the 44-yard line, a gain of 5, setting up 3rd down and 5. Midway through the 3rd quarter here in Minneapolis. Falcons haven't lost in 7 games, 6-0-1. Looking to continue their role.
The Falcons are going to stay with the strategy that's undone Culpepper since that first drive. They're going to bring some kind of a pressure here, because that's what's disrupted him.
Out of the shotgun on 3rd and 5. Under pressure, Culpepper gets rid of it. Incomplete. Dwayne Bates, the intended receiver, Fred Weary, on the coverage.
Well, it wasn't a blitz, Kenny, but the Falcons are doing it with their front 4. I mean, Brady Smith, Ellis Johnson, Smith working against Brian McKinney, Ellis Johnson working against Corbin Lucina. And it's just another instance of Dante Culpepper's rhythm being disrupted by the Falcons' pass rush.
Terrific punt by Richardson. Fair catch back at the 9-yard line by Rawson after the 47-yard punt.
Hit me. You're the best. You're the best.
If there is a movie, go to the one place that has it all. There's something fun for everyone at Best Buy.
Happy anniversary, honey.
Yeah, happy anniversary.
There's something I gotta do.
Oh, yeah? What?
I love this woman! I love her!
What are you doing? Stop.
Okay, then I guess this will have to do.
Oh, my God. I love this man.
Fox NFL Sundays brought to you by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 37. By De Beers, declare your love this Christmas. By Best Buy, for the latest technology, turn on the fun at Best Buy. And by Sprint, introducing PCS Vision, clearly a whole new way to look at wireless.
Kenny Albert, Tim Green back in Minneapolis. Falcons and Vikings are tied at 14. Vikings scored on the opening drive of the game. Falcons tied it following a blocked punt in the 2nd quarter. Vikings went back ahead, and then Michael Vick hit Brian Sinnerin late in the first half. 39-yard touchdown pass to tie the score. DJ Duckett hit for a loss. Vikings defense has played well today, Tim.
Yeah, and Henri Crockett has oftentimes been right there at the center of it all. We saw him make a big play where he stripped the ball from Michael Vick earlier. And watch Henri Crockett right here. He fills the hole. He comes right up in and makes this tackle in the backfield.
Crockett, the former Falcon, spent the last 5 years in Atlanta.
You always play best against the team that jilted you.
Second down and 12. Vick pass batted down at the line.
I think Fred Robbins got his hands up. You know, I spoke to George O'Leary, the Vikings defensive line coach, yesterday, and he said, you know, Michael Vick is not a tall guy. He doesn't have many weaknesses, but one thing is he's only about 6 feet tall. And I told my defensive tackles, hey, when you get up in there, if you take away his lane, you know, if you get your hands up, we can get some batted balls. And that's the first one we've seen today, but a good strategy down here with Vick back to his own goal line.
Falcons have to get to the 20 for a first down. 3rd and 12. Vick over the middle, too high, intended for Trevor Galen. And Vick is now 0 for his last 6.
Well, that time the Falcons offensive line gave Michael Vick plenty of time. Here's Gaylor right here in the center of the field. Michael Vick actually has 2 targets. He's got 2 levels to throw to. He's got Finneran in the shallow level, and he's got Gaylor on the deeper level. Both guys were open, and he overthrew them both.
Nick Davis, Vikings will have good field position as Davis brings it back to the Atlanta 41. Falcons go 3 and out. Vikings get the ball right back.
Got a buck? You're in luck. With something hot, something beefy, or something just plain irresistible taste and incredible values every day, only on McDonald's Dollar Menu.
Trip to the city of your choice. Free.
How romantic.
Bringing along your friends.
I changed my mind.
Priceless. Win a getaway in MasterCard's Priceless Memories Sweepstakes.
Yeah, ever since I got this, I feel...
Stronger, faster.
Yeah, I'm doing this, doing that. Bing, bing, bing. You know? This thing has turned me into, what's the word?
Want a more powerful phone? Switch to Sprint and get unlimited PCS vision, unlimited night and weekend minutes, and 300 anytime minutes. And now, at Sprint stores, get great deals instantly on PCS phones with full-color screens.
So you just go around in your costume helping people?
And I do what I can.
PCS from Sprint. Clearly, the phone to give or get.
Introducing Remington's new microscreen TCT, built for closeness, designed for comfort, with the only triple screen system that automatically adjusts for a closer shave with less irritation. Now, just imagine how it's gonna feel.
So you like it, huh?
For the ultimate in closeness and comfort, the new Remington. What a great shave feels like.
Access NFL.com to vote for your favorite NFL All-Stars. The Pro Bowl ballot is online exclusively at NFL.com.
Ready for some fireworks? Rams and Eagles are next. Kurt Warner, 2-time league MVP, up against Feely in his first career start for the Eagles.
Here's Culpepper off the play fake. Rolling right. Eluded Kearney. Gain 3 down to the 38. So Donovan McNabb knocked out 2 weeks ago. Coy Detmer knocked out last week. So and A.J. Feely gets his chance.
And in this game, look at Kelly Campbell. He's knocked out right there after the punt. Derek Alexander, Kenny, he's already out. He was brought in to be the Vikings' #2 receiver.
So Chris Walsh now in as the 3rd receiver.
Dwayne Bates has been banged up this season. Randy Moss, Kenny, has not caught a ball than 3 minutes into the second quarter.
Offense, number 63. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
I think part of the reason has been Jerron Bolden. We saw the one press coverage where Bolden knocked Moss right off his feet. But I think the Vikings need to get back to Moss. I mean, he is their star offensive weapon. Michael Bennett, although he's had a fantastic season with that sprained ankle and the Falcons defense, they've limited Bennett to just 50 yards on 16 carries today.
Following the penalty, 2nd and 12. Culpepper to a wide open Dwayne Bates down to the 32, about a yard shy of a first down.
Well, Bates is open, but Moss is open too. Watch for Randy Moss on this play. He comes up short, and it's really the same play to the right, but Culpepper goes to the left and to Dwayne Bates. I think you really want to get Moss involved. You know, early when the Vikings offense was working well, Moss was a big part of it. He was involved.
On 3rd and 1, the toss to Bennett. Michael Bennett inside the 10, knocked out of bounds at the 4. 28 yards. Bennett needed 1. He gained 28.
Well, for Michael Bennett to get to that 2nd or 3rd level, which he just got there, you've got to get blocking. The blocking comes from Dwayne Bates. Look at Bates right here. Look at that beautiful block. And he gives Bennett all kinds of space, and that lets Bennett use his speed. He is so dangerous because he is so fast.
World-class speed. Once turned down an invitation to the Olympic trials to concentrate on football before his junior year at Wisconsin. Bennett down to the 1.
A little tough running right there, but here's Michael Bennett's numbers, and you see that he is world-class. He runs a 40 in 4.19, 100 yards in 9.9. There's the world record right there. He's not far off the world record, and then you see when he runs a 200-yard, when he starts to run out of gas, there's the world record there. You know, the interesting thing, too, about Bennett is he does run the tough yards.
Bennett easily into the end zone for his 4th touchdown of the season. Bennett setting it up with the 28-yard scamper on 3rd and 1. And Michael Bennett puts the Vikings back on top.
I said the Falcons had limited Michael Bennett, and just after I said that, he exploded for his 28-yard run. His average went from 3.6 to 4.8. And he got himself a touchdown as well. But this touchdown run here, and I said Bennett runs the tough yards, and he does, but this is great blocking. Here's Bryant McKinney right there. He gives a nice seal block. Kleinsaucer has the kick-out block. Watch it. Look at McKinney right there. Look at him use that big bulk. He blocks Brady Smith, seals him off to the inside, and that Kleinsaucer blocks Mark Simino and just drives him out of the picture.
Bennett now 10 yards shy of 1,000 for the season. 2nd year in the NFL, 1st-round pick. Backed up Ron Dane, the Heisman Trophy winner at Wisconsin. And Bennett has given the Vikings the lead. It's now 21-14, Minnesota. So the Vikings lead for the 3rd time today. They've had leads of 7-0, 14-7, and now 21-14. Falcons have come back to tie the game twice. Michael Vick, just 8 for 19 in the air, 0 for his last 6, has 57 yards on the ground. Vikings, who have played much better here at home than on the road, 3-3 at home, 0-5 away from the Metrodome. Lead by a touchdown. Hayden Epstein, rookie out of Michigan, kicking off to Allen Rossum. Rossum brought down shy of the 25. Well, coming this February, the world's best drivers, and I'm not talking about you, Tim, return to Fox with the 45th running of the Great American Race. The Daytona 500 drops the flag on 15 weeks of NASCAR coverage, returning this February on Fox.
What's wrong with my driving?
You are one of the best drivers. That's what I meant.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, my
but
wife
you won't be on Fox.
My wife Alyssa always accuses me of driving too slow, having no speed. There's a guy who's got plenty of speed. 41 yards in that scoring drive, courtesy of Michael Bennett.
So now another Michael Vick goes back to work from his own 24-yard line, under pressure, throws, and Sean Jefferson makes the catch. What a spectacular catch. No, he dropped it. He did not hold on. So it will be 2nd and 10 for the Falcons as Jefferson exits, replaced by Trevor Gaylor.
Great effort by Jefferson here. He gets to the inside of Kelly. Eric Kelly slips and falls. Look, I don't know about that. But I tell you, watch the Vikings here, and watch them take away the lane. You know, they're trying to take away.
Dan Reeves challenging Tim. He's challenging.
Yeah, that looked like, just quickly, that looked like he might have caught that ball.
Dan Reeves will use his second challenge.
Yeah, the only problem with that is that, as you said, it's his second challenge.
You want to waste it on this.
I don't know.
The man is challenging the ruling in the field if the pass is incomplete.
Because I'm not even certain. We'll have to take a look. And as you said earlier, it's got to be indisputable visual evidence. You can't see right there if that ball shifts in his hands because you're blocked by another player. Now, we'll take a look at this angle here. He doesn't have control. Stays with it. He's got control. You can't, you know what I'm saying, Kenny? You can't see there if the ball hits the ground. And you can't see it there. So we don't have a view that would enable the officials to overturn the call on the field. And because it was a first down play, I hope for Dan Reeves' sake that he doesn't regret later on using his last challenge on this play.
I thought Jefferson held on, but like you said, there must be indisputable visual evidence for Ed Hockley to overturn the ruling on the field, which was incomplete. And now if there's another controversial play later on, Dan Reeves will not be able to challenge. Falcons lost an earlier challenge.
You can't see what happens to the ball right there. You know what I'm saying? When the ball, if the ball hits the ground, if the ball shifts in his hands when it hits the ground.
Back in the first half, Dan Reeves challenged that Michael Vick was down by contact prior to one of his two fumbles, but Ed Hockley did not agree. And Ed Hockley, throughout the season, has been one of the best referees as far as explaining penalties and reviews. He does a terrific job explaining exactly what he saw.
I would imagine he's looking at this shot right here. This is the one that seems to be the best one. And even that, I just, don't see it. He may very well have had possession. I'll tell you one thing. The umpire, Kenny, who signaled that it was not a catch, had a great angle on it.
The umpire is Steve Wilson.
The question is whether the ball hit the ground. The ruling on the field was incomplete. There's not visual evidence to prove one way or the other. Before the ruling on the field stands, the pass is incomplete. And Atlanta's charged for a second timeout.
Now, Jefferson thinks no, but there's Wilson right there, the umpire. And watch him right here. You see, he's got a perfect view of it. And then he signals no.
So not only do the Falcons not have any challenges left, but they lose another timeout. They have only one remaining. Remember, they had to take a timeout with the play clock winding down earlier this quarter. So Atlanta with no challenges left and only one timeout.
Dan Reeves is hot. I said he's been rejuvenated by this run that the Falcons have had, not losing a game in the last 7. certainly hasn't calmed him down.
That won't calm him down.
No, and you have to credit the Vikings defense. They've gotten some pressure on Michael Vick, and their secondary, which has struggled all season, has been able to contain the Falcons' passing game, at least here in the second half.
Vick takes off on 2nd and 10, has a first down and more, loses the football. And the question is, was he down?
They're ruling down by contact.
And that cannot be challenged.
That cannot be challenged. So Michael Vick is fortunate on that one, although I will say that on the replay, yeah, he's saying his elbow is down, and I think that's true. But this is a quarterback draw here, and I like the call by Dan Reeves. You see it, Michael Vick just sets up, makes it look like a pass, and there's the burst of speed. And then I think on this replay here, you'll see that the ground clearly causes this fumble. Watch, his arm is down right there, and the ball pops out.
Vick gained 19 yards on that scramble, now has 76 yards rushing. DJ Duckett gains just one out to the 44-yard line. Falcons lost Warwick Dunn in the first half due to a sprained ankle.
When you see Ronnie Bradford up there, Kenny, if you see Bradford or Corey Chavis up right near the line of scrimmage, if Bradford wasn't that play, it tells you that the Vikings are playing an 8-man front, and that tells you that they're letting their cornerbacks be isolated on the outside on Sean Jefferson and Brian Finneran, and I think that's where Michael Vick is going to have to go to beat this Vikings defense, to the outside passing.
3 wide receivers, 2nd and 9. And Vick's throw is incomplete. The intended receiver, Brian Finneran, who had to come back for it.
That was really good coverage by Brian Williams, too.
And a late flag. Looks like a personal foul against the Vikings.
Personal foul, roughing the passes. Defense, number 91, threw the quarterback to the ground. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Lorenzo Brumell, here he is, the right end. He works around Todd Weiner. Oh, boy. I mean, yeah, that's going to be it. I mean, even if you don't like it, that's a penalty. I mean, Brumell might as well argue with error, because that's one that the league will not say was a missed call by the official.
Vikings lead the league in personal fouls. Number 41 on the boot.
There he goes.
Vick out of bounds at the 28-yard line. Picks up 13 more.
Yeah, that's just a really good play by the Falcons. That's good play calling by Dan Reeves. And, you know, what we're seeing, Kenny, on this drive here is Michael Vick being used as a running back, as a weapon. We saw the quarterback draw where he picked up a first down. Now they go with the naked boot, and he picks up the first down. And that's what makes him so dangerous.
He's gained 91 yards on the ground twice this year. Now has 89.
They're in this power eye. They've run out of it. They wanted to pass out of it, though, today.
There goes Vick. Inside the 15, inside the 10, touchdown! 28 yards. Michael Vick, over 100 yards on the ground for the day, as he scores from 28.
You know, we talked to Dan Reeves yesterday, and he said, if the defense plays an 8-man front against us, we can outman them, because we can take our quarterback and turn him into a running back. Then we have a blocker for every defender, and we have an extra guy as the running back. 3 huge runs on this series, and that's what put the Falcons back and tied this game. Michael Vick, 3 carries for 60 yards.
On that series alone, in the game, 7 carries, 117 yards on the ground for Michael Vick.
There's the power eye. You see all the blockers. Everyone blocks a man. Everyone does a good job of getting a man on a man. Michael Vick turns into a running back. And look at the speed and the running ability of Michael Vick. Look at that. It makes everybody else look like they've got molasses in their shoes.
He has runs today, Tim, of 40, 19, 13, and this one 28 yards.
It's nothing to be ashamed of. Michael Vick has an incredible arm, and we talked today about the great job he's done making decisions in the passing game. He still only has 2 interceptions.
And he's too tired to hold the phone.
Yeah, the best interception ratio of any quarterback in the league. And this is only his first year as a starter, so he can be a drop-back quarterback. He's got a great arm. He makes great decisions. But the beauty is you can turn him into a running back, and a spectacular running back at that.
A new career high, 117 yards on the ground today for Michael Vick. 133 in the air.
Almost more running than passing.
1 rushing touchdown and 1 touchdown pass to Brian Finneran. James Wofford, his first kick return of the season. First-year man out of UNLV. And he's forced back by Artie Ulmer as we check in with James Brown. JB.
Kenny and Tim, Bears not helping their cause at all. Their 5th turnover led to this Brett Favre play-action 1-yard call to William Henderson. It is down 23-14. Green Bay can smell the NFC North Division title back to Kenny and Tim.
All right, JB, so the Packers coming from behind against the Bears. Falcons have come from behind 3 times today. Off the fake end around. Culpepper off the fingertips of Bates and then nearly intercepted by Deron Bolden and then Keon Carpenter.
Well, Deron Bolden's playing a fantastic game right now. And we haven't seen Randy Moss become involved. Watch it here. Look at Bolden. Watch the coverage here. I mean, he's right with Moss the whole way. And you know, you got to believe that Moss is going to be the primary receiver, if not the primary, at least the secondary. But Bolden has him covered up. Remember I said earlier when Ray Buchanan got hurt, I said the good news for the Falcons is Bolden is, you know, he would start for most teams at the cornerback position.
Bennett on 2nd and 10. Out to the 30-yard line, gain of 4.
And the thing is, for the Vikings, they really can't take advantage of the fact that Buchanan's hurt because their 3rd receiver, Kelly Campbell, is also hurt.
Deron Bolden, a guy who's bounced around. Started with the Falcons, went to Green Bay, Carolina, Kansas City. In fact, last year, he led the Canadian Football League in interceptions. Earlier today, picked off his 3rd pass of the season for the Falcons. 3rd down and 6. Final seconds, 3rd quarter. Culpepper taken down. It's Brady Smith again. His 2nd sack today. Ed Jasper there as well. As the 3rd quarter comes to an end. Vikings took a 21-14 lead on Michael Bennett's touchdown run. But then all Michael Vick on the ensuing Falcons drive. We are tied at 21.
You're watching the NFL on Fox.
Do you shy away from large social gatherings? Are you often lonely? Do you experience excessive feelings of anxiety? Then join the party at Damon's, where the grill is on. Choose from several party trays. We've done all the work for you with our steamed peeled shrimp tray. Or choose Damon's irresistible cheese party tray or buffalo wing tray. Proven to alleviate party anxiety. Call ahead to place your order. Side effects may include mild to moderate increase in appetite. Damon's party trays are on.
Oh, it's girls playing football. Oh, no, no, no. These are athletes playing football.
And a sack back at the 21-yard line, and they're calling that a fumble. But Heather Boffman stiff-arming Boone on the carry.
Do you see the stiff arm? Unbelievable.
This is a lot of football action. Keith, I couldn't agree with you more. We all were kind of wondering what we were going to see tonight. I am extremely impressed, extremely pleased. I've broadcast over 450 football games.
I wouldn't want to be out there being tackled by these gals.
I can't stay here another minute.
Not what you need to hear. Then Super 8's where you need to stay. As clean as can be 1,900 times over. Clean, friendly Super 8. All the room you want.
this place for that kind of money? Not what you need to hear. Then stay here at Super 8. Clean, comfortable rooms because we inspect them more than any major economy chain. Clean, friendly Super 8. All the room you want.
NFL Sunday Ticket is brought to you in part by Super 8.
Back in Minnesota as we get set for quarter number 4. Vikings and Falcons are tied at 21, and that last Falcons drive, Tim, turned into the Michael Vick show.
Yeah, Michael Vick took over. Vikings defense has been doing a good job of limiting Michael Vick in the passing game, except for the couple big plays to Brian Finneran, but they were not able to do anything to Michael Vick when it came to him running the football.
Richardson punting from his own 20. Holden, or I should say Rawson, lets it bounce, and it's down at the 15-yard line by Jack Brewer.
Oh, the weather outside is frightful, but the fire is so delightful. Since we've got no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
Introducing Dockers, flat front mobile tent.
Only Remington has the most cutting blades, the fastest cutting speed, and the most total floating head action. How important is that? Well, how important is a close, comfortable shave? Remington, what a great shave feels like.
Oh, my gosh. You are so wonderful. I mean, you're so pretty and tall, and who does your hair and your smile? I know I'm babbling on, and meeting you, this just made my day. You're just saying that because I'm on TV. You're on TV?
Use any Visa card this holiday season and everyone will want to be nice to you because each time you use your Visa card, you could win $10,000 for you and $10,000 for a friend.
Oh, my gosh. I think you are so wonderful.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Visa. It's everywhere NFL fans want to be. By Dockers Stain Defender. Don't be the one without it. By IBM, taking business to the next level with e-business on demand. And by Lexus, introducing the V8-powered GX. A new kind of adventure begins.
Back in Minnesota, the Vikings have led 3 times. Falcons have come back to tie on all 3 occasions. And Tim, the game is so close to total yards or even 273 apiece. Falcons from their own 17-yard line. Kelly, the tight end, shifting. Off the plate, fakes to Duckett. Pass is caught by Algie Crumpler, forced out of bounds by Tyrone Carter.
And I think the play that we just saw is a counter to the last series where 4 times Michael Vick ran the ball, and those were running plays. Those were called plays where he ran bootlegs and quarterback draws, and on that play there, they faked the bootleg and turned it, what was a run, into a pass.
On the final play of that last Falcon series, a 28-yard touchdown run. Vick had the 40-yard run earlier. Spectacular afternoon as Michael Vick and the Falcons look to extend their undefeated streak to 8 games. Duckett into the line, gain of just 1.
Well, besides Michael Vick, you've seen that the rest of the running game has not been that potent. But here's that last drive, Kenny, and here's what I'm talking about. That's a quarterback draw. That's a called run. Here's the naked bootleg. That's a called run play. And then for the touchdown here, they come out with a power I. Everyone's a blocker except the quarterback, who's also a running back. Touchdown, Michael Vick. There you see 117 yards. The rest of the team only 46 yards on the ground.
Vick complete. Trevor Gaylor, his first catch of the day, and a terrific second effort by the former San Diego Charger. Michael Vick really likes Gaylor.
Well, he likes him so much, he says he could be the next Terrell Owens. And you could see why he at least makes that suggestion after that last play. Of course, Terrell Owens, the 49ers wide receiver who's big and physical and spectacular after the catch. And Gaylor picked up that first down all on his own.
Wears the same number as Owens.
Does he have a Sharpie there?
The Sharpie rematch later today on Fox. Some of you will see the Seahawks and the 49ers. Vick with loads of time, and Reggie Kelly, the intended receiver, covered by Ronnie Bradford.
You know what? Kelly needed to keep moving on that. He stopped, and that's what enabled Bradford to just plaster him. But you have to remember as a receiver, if Michael Vick is your quarterback, that where most quarterbacks, after 4 seconds, 5 seconds at the most, the ball's going to come out of there. Michael Vick has the elusiveness where he can hang on to the ball. That ball may come out of there 10 seconds after the ball is snapped. So you always have to keep on the move.
Speaking of getting plastered, did you see that Kansas City, Arizona score on the Fox box? 49-0 Kansas. Vick airing one out, and it's intercepted by Ronnie Bradford, the former Falcon. Only the third interception thrown by Vick all season. It's the 13th career pick for Bradford.
Well, I said at the beginning of this game that Michael Vick has made great decisions. That was not one of them.
Stevens? Yeah. Got you down for over 130 channels, $39.99 a month.
Right.
So every channel's digital quality. There's access to 31 premium movie channels, 60 pay-per-view movie titles a month.
Great. So that can go on the back of the roof?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, good. So go ahead and pull around back. You work for the cable company, huh? Yeah.
Yeah. Why settle for cable? Get a 2-room DirecTV system with installation for under $50.
What are these? Magic business binoculars. How do they work? You look through them, you see the future of business.
Wow. The future sure looks different.
What do you see? It's a 3D holographic projection of the world to come.
Things move fast. Everything's integrated. Everything works in real time.
How do we get everything to work?
I don't know. It says I need another quarter.
This January, 20 women have been invited to a chateau in France to win the affection of one man who's wealthy beyond their wildest dreams. He's handsome, he's charming, and he's everything a woman could want. But things aren't always what they seem.
Oh, my God.
Joe Millionaire. Discover his secret this January on Fox.
Is America ready for The Simpsons on reality TV?
Hey, Ma, our crap shack's full of the hill. What's your potty mouth?
Hey, get out! I'm in here!
Oh. The Simpsons, all new at 8/7 Central tonight on Fox.
Vikings rush Michael Vick with a 5-man, 3 in the middle, 2 to the outside. Lance Johnstone, this outside man, does a great job of staying outside Michael Vick, keeping him inside. He throws off his back foot, and it's an interception.
And now Culpepper looking to do his best Michael Vick imitation. Knocked out of bounds by Matt Stewart.
And this really, Kenny, was George O'Leary's strategy for trying to contain Michael Vick, and we've seen a little bit of this today. The 3 defensive tackles on the inside, 1, 2, 3 big men, and then Lance Johnstone on the outside here, Nick Rogers on the outside there to try to keep Michael Vick at least contained. On that last one, they contained him enough to make him throw an interception off his back foot.
George O'Leary's done a terrific job. Mike Tice leans on him heavily. Not only is he the defensive line coach, but the assistant head coach as well. Setting up the screen to Klein Salter, and he takes a hard hit from Chris Graham. George O'Leary was Mike Tice's high school coach.
Yeah, you know, George O'Leary was my high school coach as well. He went from Central Islip, where he coached Mike Tice, to Liverpool, New York, in upstate, where he was fabulous, and, you know, took my high school, which is hadn't seen championship territory in years, and of course we won a couple championships under him. Then he went to Syracuse University. He was my defensive line coach there, and really a fantastic coach and also a fantastic guy. I mean, you know, anyone who's played for Georgia, like Mike Tyson, myself, just has only the best of things to say about him.
Now 3rd down and 3 for the Vikings. Culpepper complete for the first down to Dwayne Bates in Falcons territory.
Now Dante Culpepper really getting hot again, right? He started out this game, as we said, 4 for 4. Marched right down, scored a touchdown, 75-yard drive, cooled off a little bit. Now he's heating up again.
Gain of 11 from Culpepper to Bates. Vikings have a first down on the Atlanta 45, looking to capitalize following only the 3rd interception thrown by Vick in 276 pass attempts this season. Vick has turned the ball over 3 times. For Randy Moss, his first catch since early in the 2nd quarter. His 6th reception of the game.
More good blocking by the other Vikings wide receivers. Chris Walsh is out there. Dwayne Bates, watch the block. There's Bates with a block, Walsh with a block, and that gives Randy Moss a running lane.
Six catches, 71 yards. Culpepper has connected on his last 3 attempts. 3 wide receiver set. Culpepper pump fake. He was hit as he threw. Took a hit from Sam Rogers as he got rid of the football.
Well, Sam Rogers coming from the outside here. Gets a nice inside move, and it's more pressure on Dante Culpepper. He's hard to hurt. I mean, he's such a big man. He's probably bigger than Sam Rogers. But the disruption of his passing game is the key.
4th down and 2. Mo Williams looks to have the first down.
That's kind of what you expect from Mo Williams, isn't it? That has been his trademark this season.
The short yardage specialist.
Short yardage specialist, scoring touchdowns. Very strong, very determined. He gets great body lean.
Got only 2 touchdowns on the ground his first 6 NFL seasons. This year he has 10. Vikings on the move, looking to take the lead for the 4th time today. Penalty
More
marker.
penalties, right? Byron
Full
Chamberlain.
start, offense. Number 87. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Chamberlain, the tight end, so this will force Minnesota back 5 yards.
I still think that the Vikings offense, I know they're at their best when Randy Moss is a part of it. We saw 1 pass to Moss here. Because what that does is that forces the defense to readjust, to commit a safety to helping the cornerback out on Moss, and that opens things up for Michael Bennett.
Off the play fake, Culpepper forced to get rid of it, and the nice shoestring catch made by Dwayne Bates. Culpepper under pressure, hits Bates for a gain of 12.
Wow. Not only was that a nice catch by Bates, it was a really fine run afterwards. Bates just lowered his shoulder, picks up about an extra 4 yards on this play. Watch him right here. Beautiful catch, very skilled. Now he turns. Watch him put his head down.
Vikings back to the no huddle, and Culpepper uses a timeout with 8:13 remaining. 4th quarter here in Minnesota. Vikings looking to end the Falcons' 7-game undefeated streak. We are tied at 21.
Honey, look, a first Christmas.
Yeah. You remember what I gave you?
A stuffed reindeer?
I think I did better this year.
This holiday, what can you give the woman who said she'd love you forever and has? The Leo Diamond, handcrafted by the artisans at Leo Schachter. The first diamond to be independently measured and certified for its superior fire, sparkle, and brilliance. And like all diamonds at K, every Leo is hand-selected. You did a lot better this year.
Every kiss begins with K.
Go ahead. Open it.
Oh my gosh.
The Lexus December to Remember sales event.
Beautiful.
Mom, open it.
You'll find great values whether you buy or lease.
We did it.
Go on. The December to Remember sales event.
Too much pepper.
Missing it would definitely spoil the surprise.
Come on, let's go.
See your Lexus dealer.
I used to worry about money. Then I got Brown. Brown helps me figure it all out. Brown manages my inventory, fills my orders, then ships them to retailers anywhere. And here's the cool part. It saves me money, so I have the cash to keep my business growing and my people stoked. They're stoked.
Order fulfillment, distribution, one company. UPS. What can Brown do for you? Warner and the Rams. Staley and the Eagles. Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader continues next. Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by UPS. What can Brown do for you?
Kenny Albert, Tim Green from the Metrodome, tied at 21. Vikings have a 2nd and 3 on the Atlanta 27. 3 wide receivers. Moss split to the right. Culpepper looking for Moss, but the pass was behind him.
Well, we've got a tie score here now, Kenny. Think back the last time these two teams played here at the Metrodome, 1998 NFC Championship.
Biggest game in Falcons history. They went to overtime, and Morton Anderson connected on a 38-yard field goal, sending the Falcons, Chris Chandler, and Dan Reeves, who did the Dirty Bird. They went to the Super Bowl. And remember, Gary Anderson, who's still the Vikings field goal kicker, did not miss a kick all season. Here's Mo Williams. And he's hit, no gain. Brady Smith.
Yeah, Brady Smith hurt himself.
Yep.
He hit him so hard.
And here comes Gary Anderson, who had not missed all season back in '98. Missed a 38-yard field goal attempt in the 4th quarter in that NFC Championship game in January of '99, which would have given the Vikings a 10-point lead.
Well, Gary Anderson struggled a little bit last week in New England. Of course, they had a lot of wind there. It wasn't great weather. Here in the Dome is where he's always been strong.
Blocked. Keith Brooking blocked the 46-yard attempt. So Keith Brooking, who's had a tremendous season defensively for the Falcons, blocks the field goal.
That would be the 2nd block kick on the special teams, or at least a punt was partially blocked in the 1st quarter. That led to the Falcons' first touchdown. We'll see what this does here in the 4th.
Spider-Man! What's cracking, baby? Woo! Hey! Where you going, Spider-Man? Woo-hoo! Ha! You're getting the girl. Saving the day. Yeah! Go, Spider-Man!
If they're into computer stuff, go to the one place that has it all. Like Spider-Man, the computer game. There's something fun for everyone at Best Buy.
Go get him, Spider-Man, yeah!
It's a deal worth a double take. It's Applebee's new Take Two. Choose 2 from 4 delicious entrees to make 1 mouth-watering plate. Now that's eating good in the neighborhood.
Why do I rent from Enterprise? For more cargo room. More people room. Or more headroom. Enterprise. So easy it's like having a second car. Or third.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
There's an easier way to get the gear the pros wear this holiday season. Call 877-NFL-SHOP for the biggest selection of authentic NFL gear. For your free team catalog, call 877-NFL-SHOP or go to NFL Shop on NFL.com.
For anyone who's ever done hard time at the office,
Fancy coffee.
Do you see it now?
comes the comedy that proves your co-workers
Once, I forgot how to use pants.
are as crazy as you think.
What kind of monster are you?
Andy Richter, season premiere at 9:30 tonight on Fox.
Following the blocked field goal by Keith Brooking, Falcons start from their own 45-yard line in a tie game. Vick to a wide-open Brian Finneran at the Vikings' 38-yard line. Gain of 17.
Well, Corey Withrow has the most unenviable position in the league. He's the wing on the field goal protection team. I used to play that. He has to seal the inside. He's got to seal the inside, stop Keith Brooking, and then block to the outside. He doesn't seal the inside, and Keith Brooking comes up with a huge special teams play. Mike Tice needs some Advil.
Second block kick by the Falcons today. Kevin McAdam blocked a punt, which led to the first Atlanta touchdown. Tom Christian gains just one down to the 37.
Finneran, again, another 100-yard game after that last catch before this play, Kenny. 2 weeks in a row for Brian Finneran, and another big catch after a block kick. We talked about the partially blocked punt by McAdams in the first quarter, and then Finneran followed up with a 39-yard catch. Christian ran it in for the Falcons' first touchdown. And immediately after the blocked field goal, it's another long pass from Michael Vick to Finneran.
Falcons have a 100-yard receiver for the fourth straight week. They also have a 100-yard rusher today in Michael Vick.
I think they need to run him some more.
Christian, his second consecutive carry, down to the 35, setting up a third down and 7. Nick Rogers made the tackle.
So really, but for Michael Vick in the running game, the Vikings defense has really contained the Falcons' run offense. Of course, Warwick Dunn was hurt earlier in the game. He's been their most productive runner.
Falcons just 2 for 8 today, Tim, on third down. Third down and 8. Falcons have to get to the 28. And Vick does, crossing the 28, picks up the first down, and adds to his rushing total today.
I'd say that was an option, but it's not even an option. Again, they're just outmanning the Vikings by turning the quarterback into a running back, just saying everyone else block a man. And then if the Vikings have a free safety, which every team does, then Michael Vick has some open space. That was a great play call. Keenan Forney is the Falcon right guard who's down.
.534 remaining. Falcons on the move, looking to capitalize on the blocked field goal by Keith Brooking. Falcons have never led today. They've trailed 7-0, 14-7, and 21-14.
Boy, what a luxury for Dan Reeves to have a quarterback that you can turn into a running back.
The Metrodome sold out for the 52nd consecutive time. Kenny Albert, Tim Green, Jeff Grayson on the sideline in a 21-21 game. Michael Vick, 8 carries, 125 yards.
Falcons coming into today's game, hottest team in the National Football League. Vikings 3-8, but they came in -19 in turnovers. Turnovers has killed the Vikings, who had a very productive, potent offense all season long. Dante Culpepper with 3 interceptions today. However, the Falcons have done their share to keep this game close. They've had 3 turnovers of their own. A rare Michael Vick interception, right, where he's forced to throw off his back foot because of that 5-man pressure package that George O'Leary devised for the Minnesota Vikings. And then 2 fumbles. Both of those fumbles, by the way, courtesy of Michael Vick.
So the turnover situation even, but special teams-wise, the Falcons have blocked a punt and a field goal.
Yeah, and then Michael Vick is made up for the turnovers by being spectacular in his own running game.
Penalty markers movement on the line. Vikings have already committed 7 penalties today.
Before the snap, ball starts. Offense, number 44. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
This the 4th Falcons miscue. Falcons at 7-3-1. Trailing Tampa Bay in the NFC South, and Falcons will visit the Buccaneers, Tim, next Sunday.
Right, and Tampa Bay is going to have a tough one tonight at New Orleans. Tampa Bay lost to New Orleans in overtime, the season opener this year. Of course, we called that game.
More penalty markers.
Yeah.
Before the ball was snapped, timeout, Minnesota. That's their second.
So each team with 1 timeout remaining. Well, you saw the Vikings-Falcons highlights from the 98 NFC Championship game. Rams and Eagles met last January for the NFC title, a game won by the Rams. And they will do it this afternoon. Second part of our Fox doubleheader. Kurt Warner and the Rams up against A.J. Feely, who was Joey Harrington's backup in college at Oregon. He will make his first NFL start for the Eagles.
And just as exciting as A.J. Feely is that, or more exciting, is that Philadelphia defense. And that's going to be Kurt Warner's biggest challenge after this game is Hugh Douglas and Brian Dawkins. You saw the great piece on our pregame show of Brian Dawkins, who really is like a superhero. He's played fantastic football this season, and the Eagles defense keeping them alive even without Donovan McNabb.
Here's T.J. Duckett back to the original line of scrimmage. Nick Rogers made the tackle.
Of course, Warwick Dunn left the game with an ankle injury in the first half, and that's why T.J. Duckett is out here. Duckett has done all right so far today, averaging around 3.5 yards a carry, but again, it's been Michael Vick who has carried the load for the Falcons running the ball. Vick with 125 yards on the ground.
And a 28-yard touchdown run, which tied the score.
They're going back to it again.
Vick firing. Incomplete.
Good
Corey
coverage
Davis.
by Chavis.
Davis to cover it. Brian Kozlowski, third-string tight end, the intended receiver.
Well, we talked about Corey Chavis and his value as a strong safety for the Minnesota Vikings. As a strong safety, you have to cover the tight end. Here's Michael Vick. It's the bootleg. He's not running this time. He's throwing, but Corey Chavis, who has played cornerback in this league, is just out and always going to win that matchup against the tight end when it comes to coverage.
3 wide receivers on 3rd and 11. Vick looking through a running lane, and he's taken down at the 26-yard line by Greg Beekert and Kenny Mixon, so the Falcons will send out the field goal unit.
Excellent discipline by Kenny Mixon on that play.
And he remains down. Mixon shaken up.
Vikings come with a 4-man rush, but instead of getting out of control, Kenny Mixon, who's right here, keeps his composure. And I'm pretty sure, Kenny, that was a quarterback draw play. And I think Mixon senses it. Watch it here. He's got a double team. When they let him go, instead of running upfield, he breaks towards the center of the field, and he and Beekert bring Michael Vick down and put the Falcons in a field goal situation.
It will be about a 43-yard attempt for Jay Feely as Viking trainers continue to work on Kenny Mixon. Four minutes to go, fourth quarter. Falcons looking to take their first lead. They have not lost since the first week in October when they fell to 1-3 with a loss in Tampa Bay. They won the next week with Doug Johnson at the helm replacing the injured Vick in a game against the Giants, and have not lost since. 6 wins and a tie in their last 7. Led by Vick, who has 127 yards on the ground today.
Well, you're going to see Kenny Mixon. He comes in right here, and it looks like his rib or something. He maybe got kicked. That's what he appears to be holding, his rib or his kidney. I think he lands on Michael Vick's foot. Mixon has played well today.
But now Jay Feely, who was out of football for 2 years after finishing his career at the University of Michigan, he was working here in Minneapolis as a financial consultant before signing with the Falcons. Has 45 tickets for today's game, has a number of friends and family members at the game, and he will look to give the Falcons their first lead. Officially a 44-yard attempt. Chris Moore is the holder. Low snap. And Feely's kick is good.
Well, you have to credit Chris Moore for that one. You don't normally credit the holder on a field goal try. But that was not a good snap. Moore set it up perfectly.
So Keith Brooking blocks a field goal at one end of the field. The Falcons drive down and kick a field goal to take the lead.
That's right. Watch it. Look at that. He has to pull that right off the turf. He does it. He's calm. He's cool, collected, as if he were in a deer stand.
I know you know that feeling.
Well, he's an archery hunter. I know, Chris Moore. You got to be calm.
So the Falcons on top for the first time. They will travel to Tampa next week, and then a couple of home games against Seattle and Detroit.
And, of course, this is the big game for the Falcons, a divisional game. The team with the best record in the National Football League right now, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I know for a fact, after talking with Dan Reeves and Ray Buchanan and Keith Brooking yesterday, that all of those guys, none of them were looking past the Minnesota Vikings. They were very aware that the Vikings could play as well as they've played today and be in a very tight ball game. Playing the Vikings here at home, Vikings 3-3 at home. The Vikings have had, as you said earlier today, 14 of their 19 sacks have come at home, so they've played much better at home, and they've got a potent offense. We'll see if that offense gets them back into this game right now.
Tyrone Carter out to the 34-yard line. Good return by Carter. Fred Weary finally brought him down. A reminder, the Rams and Eagles coming up. Game 2 of our Fox NFL doubleheader. 3:27 remaining. Dante Culpepper and the Vikings offense go back to work. They scored on the opening drive of the game. Culpepper, 188 yards in the air, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. Randy Moss with 6 catches today. Michael Bennett, 86 yards on the ground. From the 34, Culpepper with time, broken up. Ashley Ambrose.
Well played.
In front of Dwayne Bates.
Well played by Ashley Ambrose. Falcons roll the safety over the top of Randy Moss. Ashley Ambrose has got Dwayne Bates man-to-man. He's got to take him wherever he goes. When he makes the break to the inside, Ambrose, he's allowed to put his hand on Bates as long as he doesn't redirect him or impede his ability to catch the ball. So he puts the hand on, gets the left arm reached around, and bats that ball down. Ambrose and Buchanan, and now Ambrose and Bolden, an excellent cornerback combination.
Culpepper taken down for the 4th time.
Ellis Johnson, I think he wondered if he had a hold of one of the Vikings offensive linemen. Wasn't sure that he had the quarterback. Brady Smith, who had another sack today, gives him 9 on the season. He forced Culpepper to step up into Ellis Johnson's hands. Johnson just kind of grappled with Culpepper. Again, Kenny, it's money time, I think you go to Randy Moss, right? You let him make the money play. That's why you pay him millions and millions of dollars to make the play now.
Here's Culpepper on 3rd and 16. Moss waiting, and he makes the catch down at the Falcons' 32-yard line.
Well done by Dante Culpepper. Culpepper avoids the rush. Moss stays with the play. Keon Carpenter errs terribly here by letting Randy Moss get over the top. Look at Culpepper. Throws that ball deep downfield. And when it's money time, they do go to their money player. They didn't go to him last week, Kenny, and I think part of that stemmed from the animosity that has grown between Culpepper and Moss. The animosity, they say, that was diffused this week after the two players talked privately.
A 40-yard pass play, and it's Moss again down to the 15-yard line as we hit the 2-minute warning. Two big receptions by Randy Moss. Vikings trailing by 3 on the move.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Michelob Light, the beer with a smooth taste and a nice finish.
The world is spinning round and round. It's got me up. It's got me. I'm not sitting round. I'm not waiting. I'm not.
I won again. You lose. I win. Oh no, my batteries are dying.
Presenting our longest-lasting Energizer Max ever. Energizer Max. See, you have the bunny inside?
I'm not exactly a small person. Never have been. There aren't many things made for someone like me. Not many things at all. The Black & Decker swivel drill is. It works in 5 different positions, so I don't have to. It's pretty cool for a little guy.
The swivel drill from Black & Decker.
Go ahead. Open it.
Oh, my God.
The Lexus December to Remember sales event.
Beautiful. Mom, open me.
You'll find great values whether you buy or lease.
We did it.
Go on. The December to Remember sales event.
How much got
Missing it would definitely spoil the surprise.
Come on, let's go.
See your Lexus dealer.
Randy Moss with 127 yards on 8 catches. 2 critical catches on this drive here. Vikings attempting to get back into this game. Maybe take the lead. Brady Smith and the Falcons have put good pressure on Culpepper most of the day, and when they have, they've disrupted his passing.
First and 10 Vikings. 16-yard line. 4 wide receiver set. Culpepper completes to Chris Wolf. Down the sideline to the 6-yard line of the Falcons.
This game has been back and forth. It was tied at the half. Both teams with 3 turnovers. You see the total yards, a lot of offense here today. We said Moss was over 100 yards. Brian Finneran has over 100 yards. Well, Michael Vick has been the story with 300 total yards, including 127 of those on the ground. Minnesota special teams, they had a blocked punt and they had a blocked field goal, both of which led to Falcons points.
Under 2 minutes to play. Play clock winding down. And the Vikings did not get off the snap.
Delay of game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
So the Vikings lose 5 critical yards on the delay.
Well, Vikings need another big play, Kenny, and on this series, this is the guy they went to. There's the big 3rd down conversion. Another big pass play to Randy Moss and run after the catch. That penalty sets them back again. They're 8th of the day. They average 9 a game this season, most in the NFL.
2nd and 6 from the 11. Moss,
Clutch.
down at the 5-yard line, has the first down.
Another first down, and Randy Moss is celebrating. He and Culpepper worked out their differences off the field, and they certainly worked out their differences on the field. The two of them hooking up here for the 9th time. Look at that athleticism. Boy, he gets the big buck.
His 3rd catch this drive, 9th of the game. 1st and goal from the Falcons 5. Vikings trailing by 3. Mo Williams forced back. Ellis Johnson, who's had a strong game today, right there to wrap up Williams.
Nice penetration. We talked about Wade Phillips' success with this Falcons defense, making them from the 30th to the 12th ranked defense, and they do it a lot with this kind of penetration. The penetration up front by Ellis Johnson, again beating the rookie Bryant McKinney, who we saw beaten earlier by Brady Smith earlier in this game on a run play. Gives the Falcons defense a little room.
Now 2nd and goal from the 6. Culpepper pump fakes and then takes off. Throws it out of the end zone.
Good discipline by Jerron Bolden. There's a pump fake here. Bolden, who's covering Randy Moss, is meant to jump it. But Bolden stays on him. He gets a nice jam on Moss. And Culpepper's forced to throw it away. Jerron Bolden playing extremely well today against Randy Moss. Bolden is a big cornerback. He's a physical cornerback. And we've seen him bang Randy Moss around today.
Bolden replacing the injured Ray Buchanan. Culpepper calls timeout. Vikings final timeout with 27 seconds remaining. They trail by 3 and have the ball on the Falcons' 6-yard line here at the Metrodome. Kenny Albert with Tim Green, Jeff Grayson. Vikings have no timeouts remaining. Looking to win at home for the 4th time in 7 games. They've had leads of 7-0, 14-7, and 21-14. Keith Brooking blocked a field goal, which would have given the Vikings the lead.
Falcons with 1 timeout, Minnesota with no timeouts. They would have time, even if they chose to run the ball now, to get their field goal unit out. If they weren't successful scoring a touchdown, kick a field goal and send this one into overtime.
Remember that huge delay of game which forced the Vikings back 5 yards just moments ago.
And the huge tackle by Ellis Johnson in the backfield.
Culpepper out of the shotgun. Empty backfield. On 3rd and goal. From the 6. Put into the hands of Randy Moss. He's going to throw to Culpepper. He's in for the touchdown. But penalty flag. Looks like it could be a legal procedure on the Vikings. We await Ed Hockley's ruling.
The wide receiver on the left side of the line went in motion, leaving an ineligible number on the end of the line. Therefore, there was an illegal formation by the offense. It's a 5-yard penalty. Your feet goes down.
Bryant McKinney was the last man on the line, and when Culpepper got into the interior of the formation, that would make McKinney. Here's McKinney right here. Here's Moss coming in motion. I don't know if the ball was snapped, if Moss still wasn't to the outside. Boy, I'll tell you what. I don't know if that ball wasn't snapped before Moss got to the inside. Watch it here. The ball snapped. Yeah, I think that's a bad call. I think Moss was outside still, and McKinney was not the last man in the formation. Watch it here. But that's not a reviewable penalty.
So it forces the Vikings back 5 more yards. Back to the 11-yard line. Gary Anderson, who had a 46-yard attempt blocked earlier this quarter. 20 seconds remaining. Culpepper looking to throw, and it's incomplete. Intended for Mo Williams.
Vikings' last field goal attempt was blocked by Keith Brookings.
This will be a 29-yard attempt as the Vikings look to tie the score with 14 seconds remaining. Anderson straight through. We are tied at 24. So the Vikings are called for 2 crucial penalties during the drive, a delay of game and then an illegal formation. They're held to a field goal and subsequently tie the game with 11 seconds remaining. So we could be headed for overtime. Falcons have already played 2 overtime games this year on the road. Vikings lost to Buffalo in overtime. Still 11 seconds left. How about Mike Tice? Using trickery with the pass from Moss to Culpepper for what would have been the go-ahead score if not for the penalty call.
Right, and I believe that because Moss was in motion, though, that you still have to have an eligible receiver on the line if the player goes into motion. If Moss had just stayed out there, then he would have been eligible.
Kick fielded out to 8. Alan Rawson out of bounds, so late flag. A late flag, and this may put the Falcons in better position for a Hail Mary.
Or, I don't know, a quick pass and a long field goal attempt. They've still got a timeout.
I don't know, 6 seconds.
They're going to get 15 yards. Here's the double pass. Moss goes in motion. We're being told that made Bryant McKinney an eligible receiver. He did not report as an eligible receiver, and therefore the penalty.
The kicking team number 24. The 15-yard penalty added to the end of the run. First down.
Willie Alford, rookie out of South Carolina. So the Falcons, with 6 seconds remaining in a tie game, will have a chance on their own 46-yard line.
What do you
here.
think? I mean, a quick 20-yard pass and a timeout? I don't know. You don't think so? You're
I don't think they have
shaking your
enough
head.
time.
I think if it's quick enough, I think that's a better option, a more likely option than throwing the Hail Mary. Don't you?
You think a receiver can get downfield and out of bounds, make the catch, get out of bounds in 6 seconds?
Well, no, he doesn't have to get out of bounds, but maybe with a timeout, maybe not. Well, you can run a 40, and even the slow guy can run it in 5 seconds. So you can run a 20 in 3. You'd have to be pretty quick. Possible, though. Possible.
Or Vick can throw 60 yards downfield. Here's Vick, back at his own 40. Well, guess you were right. They tried for the quick pass to set up the field goal. And they may put 1 second back on the clock here.
There was 1 second remaining on the clock when the ball hit the ground.
So 1 second put back on the clock. Falcons will have one more shot.
Now the Hail Mary. But it looks like this one will go into overtime, and people are going to be talking about the double pass that was called back. And, you know, Kenny, with some help from Jerry Seaman, who's here in the stadium today, and some help from my digging back into my past, when Randy Moss came off the line of scrimmage to go in motion, that's when McKinney became an ineligible receiver.
Here's Vick letting it go. And put a little too much on it. So we are headed for overtime here in Minnesota.
All right, let's go back to this play that would have given the Vikings probably the win and a touchdown. When Moss comes off the line of scrimmage to go in motion, as soon as he comes off, this guy right here has got to be an eligible receiver. He's uncovered. So it really had nothing to do with where he was in relationship to the end of the line of the tackle. As soon as he comes off the ball and goes in motion, right from the beginning of that play, because he was off the ball, it was an illegal formation. So I hope we've cleared that up for everyone. I know it's taken us a few minutes, and for that I apologize.
And
I apologize for you, too.
That Hockley now getting set to toss the coin to determine who will have the first chance in overtime.
To 29. And a disappointed Jim Fossil on the sideline.
And this drops the Giants and Jim Fossil into the others category.
And now for Randy Cross and Beasley Reese, this is Kevin Harlan saying so long from New Jersey with a final score. Titans 32-29 over the Giants in overtime.
Lost in Buffalo, Peerless Price for the Bills' victory. Falcons lost in overtime week 1, 37-34 in Green Bay. And then the tie in Pittsburgh, the Hail Mary. Plexico Burress stopped just shy of the goal line on the final play. First tie in the NFL since 1997. So the Falcons go to overtime for the third time this season. Under Dan Reeves, the Falcons have won only one overtime game, Tim, in 6 attempts. It was right here in that NFC Championship game in January of '99 on the Morton Anderson field goal. Dan Reeves' only overtime victory as Falcons head coach. Last time the Falcons won a regular season overtime game on the road, you were in uniform in New Orleans back in 1991.
Pleasant memory.
Yes.
To win in overtime. Sickening to lose one. You've got to expect, Kenny, that the Vikings are going to continue to try to push the ball to Randy Moss. I mean, that's what worked for them. That's what enabled them to drive down and tie this score up. Culpepper to Moss. Of course, we've also seen some some good running from Michael Bennett today. He's had a couple of explosive runs.
From the 9-yard line, Tyrone Carter brought down just shy of the 20. There have been 17 overtime games this season in the NFL. The team with the ball first has scored on the first possession in 7 of the 17. Of course, Detroit elected to kick off last week and make Chicago go into the wind in overtime. That backfired on Marty Morningwig.
Yeah, that could cost Marty Morningwig his job, that decision.
So the Vikings go to work in overtime with 3 wide receivers. They start from their own 20-yard line. Off the play fake to Bennett. Culpepper's pass is caught out at the 21-yard line by the 26-yard line by Dwayne Bates for a gain of 6.
Falcons go with man coverage, a free safety in the middle. They're thinking Michael Bennett getting up there to stop the run. So Ray Buchanan had Dwayne Bates man-to-man. Buchanan's been in now. This isn't the first time we've seen him in this fourth quarter here. Vikings with 3 wide receivers, so Buchanan's out here, Bolden's out here, and the Falcons again look like they're playing man coverage with a free safety in the middle.
Buchanan in the slot, Bolden at left corner, guarding Randy Moss. Culpepper lost the football, but it's recovered by the center, Matt Burke.
Good pressure again by the Falcons' defensive front. Brady Smith in there, Pat Kearney. They've banged Dante Culpepper around nicely today. And that's their 5th sack of the game. Kearney's the guy who drives up into him. Boy, Matt Burke saved the day on that one for the Vikings. I can't even count what fumble that was for Dante Culpepper.
Now a 3rd and 13. Culpepper can't find anyone. He's taken down again. This time it's Sam Rogers with the 6th Atlanta Falcons sack today.
This is a study in perseverance, rushing the passer by Sam Rogers. Mo Williams has got the block. Watch Sam Rogers come from the top here, and watch Mo Williams try to block him. And Rogers just never, ever quits. Look at him there. He's down on his knees. He gets up. He loses him. He's got him. He just hangs on.
Richardson punching out of his end zone. Alan Rossum. Rossum into Vikings territory. So the Falcons, with tremendous field position in overtime, they will start at the Minnesota 48-yard line.
And you have to credit, Kenny, the Falcons pass rush up front, their defensive front. And they didn't do it with blitzes either. They just did it rushing the passer. Sam Rogers, Pat Kearney, Brady Smith, Ellis Johnson, Ed Jasper. You see Jasper sitting there all day long. The Falcons front has put excellent pressure on Culpepper. When they haven't, Culpepper has found Randy Moss. Again, the most explosive part of the Falcons offense today has been Michael Vick running the football. Wouldn't surprise me to see some of that right now.
Darren Cheverini in the game at wide receiver. We haven't seen much of Cheverini today. Here's Duckett up the middle. Gain 2 down to the 46-yard line. Setting up 2nd down and 8. Falcons in overtime, Tim, for the 3rd time on the road this year. In 6 road games, they've gone to overtime 3 times.
Really, Kenny, except for Michael Vick's run plays. The quarterback draws, the bootleg. The Vikings defense has done an outstanding job of limiting the Falcons' run game today. Warwick Dunn knocked out earlier with a sprained ankle. T.J. Duckett held under his normal average.
Vick on 2nd and 8. Off the play fake. Has some running room. Inside the 30. Inside the 20. Vick into the end zone. Falcons win in overtime. A 46-yard touchdown run. His 2nd touchdown run of the game. Scored from 28 earlier. And he finishes with 173 yards rushing.
Talk about passing the magic. Ray Buchanan told us yesterday Michael Vick doesn't even have to pass the Magic. We just want to touch him. Just get a piece of him. He's got so much magic. Amazing run, and fitting that the Falcons should end the game this way. Vick with 173 yards on the ground. This started out to be a pass play, but it's Michael Vick with the remarkable scramble, the almost inhuman speed that sends the Vikings to another loss. And the Falcons keep their hot streak alive, their 8th game, without a defeat.
Is there any doubt as to who will be the most valuable player in the NFL this season?
Michael Vick gets my vote.
Gets mine as well. Second half of the doubleheader coming up. Falcons win it in overtime on this 46-yard touchdown run by Michael Vick. For Tim Green, this is Kenny Albert. So long for Minnesota. The Eagles and the Rams